All right, we get it rolling on the Krug Show. Giants win! Giants win!
Wow.
Blake Sable. Who? Blake Sable, I said. Goes yard, and the Giants come from behind, and they get it done. Break them up. They've won 4 in a row. The G-Men.
Was that on an 0-2 pitch, too? After 0-2 or 1-2, maybe? After he threw 2 pitches that
I think it was 1-2. I think it was 1-2.
Those 2 strikes were nasty, man. Those were like Helsley's he's a tough pitcher, and they got to him. I can't believe it.
On a night where the Giants started John Brebbia and went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You thought I was doing like a Laverne and Shirley thing.
Oh, it was
there.
like
8 pitchers. 8 pitchers. The only
like
people that didn't pitch tonight were Danny and I.
Yeah, I was about ready to come on here and still plan to do a little ripping because it's like you said, Larry, you throw a big 10-9 deal parlay out there, somebody's going to screw it up for you. And he got through 6 shutout innings. They score in the 7th or the 8th, the Cardinals, when they broke it open. 8th, yeah. So they got 3 in the 8th.
3 in the 8th. Goldschmidt with the big blow, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
of course.
Why even pitching to Goldschmidt first base open? It kills the Giants.
Well, for those who missed this game, let's do the quick recap. Giants got on the board in the second. Thairo Estrada stole second base. There was a throwing error by Contreras. Estrada went to third, and then he scored on an error by Carlson. So the Giants had a 1-0 lead. The power hitter known as Tommy Edman then hit one out to center. He's a good player, man. That tied it at 1. So it was a 1-1 game going to the fourth. Yaz goes deep to right in the bottom of the fourth, and the Giants are up 2-1. You're feeling good. But fast forward to the 8th inning. It stayed 2-1 until the 8th. And Tyler O'Neill doubled to score Dylan Carlson to tie the game at 2. And then that brought up Paul Goldschmidt, who singled to left, scored 2. Edmund came in. O'Neill came in. And you're thinking, Giants are going to lose. They're down to their final 6 outs. They're down 2 runs. But it gets to the 9th, and Yaz comes through with the RBI double that scored Jock Peterson to make it a 1-run game. And then with Yaz aboard, Sable, who was Danny's Cactus League interview du jour, Sable homered to center field 428 feet away. Walk off, 5-4 Giants. Everybody go home. Giants are now 10-13. They're back to 500 at home, and they get a nice team win. I mean, 8 pitchers. But Alexander really was the only one who didn't have it. For the most part, everybody else pitched pretty well.
Yeah. So it was a big win. I mean, it looked like a win early on, and they're up 2-1 in the 8th, and then it looks like they blew it. The too many pitchers got to them. You knew somebody wasn't going to be able to, keep throwing zeros on the board, and they go down 4-2 in the 9th. Bring in Helsley. Is like, forget it. They can't hit this guy.
Is this the Giants' best offensive lineup, you think? It's Wade in left, Conforto in right, hitting 1-2. J.D. Davis at third, Jock at DH, Yaz in center, Thairo at second, Crawford at short, Sable behind the plate, and VR at first. Do you think that's the is that their best lineup?
Haniger being in there probably somewhere.
Yeah, Haniger.
And maybe Flores at some point. The guys that VR's been looking kind of foolish against a lot of righties throwing off speed stuff. Wade's not hitting lefties. It's I don't know. I thought Haniger was going to be in the lineup. I thought he was an everyday player, and he's only been back 1 game, and he's sat tonight. I don't know what the deal was. If he's is there something wrong, or why did he sit tonight? He just came up yesterday.
I mean, I'm just loving the fact that Sable is coming through because he's here. He's a career minor leaguer, right? I mean, how old is Sable? 27?
25.
25. Okay, so maybe he's not too old.
Yeah.
But he's spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, though, hasn't he?
A few years.
Not like the guy from the Pirates. Did you see like 13 years in the minor leagues?
Exactly. Yeah.
That was a great little story.
Yeah.
But nice win for the Giants, and they're playing. I mean, they're playing well. They're playing well.
Yeah.
They're getting wins. We'll see. We'll see if they can keep it going. But I think you got to feel pretty good about what you've seen the last few days. I mean, it's they're not a great team. They're gonna have to grind it out all season long. Night game again tomorrow. DeSclafani going against Mats. DeSclafani's pitched really well. DeSclafani, you could say, has pitched as well as any of their starters. So they got a great chance tomorrow with DeSclafani. Thursday, it's an afternoon game, and that's going to be Logan Webb against Mikolas. So you got a great chance to win there. And then Friday, are they off on Friday?
I think, let me see.
They're off on Friday.
Yeah, because they go to Mexico.
That is crazy. So they're off on Friday. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
So the Giants play the Padres in Mexico City on Saturday evening. Well, 3:00 Pacific. Giants undecided against Joe Musgrove. Well, that'll be fun. I'd like to see what the crowds are like and what it looks like down there.
Oh, the crowd tonight was awful.
Tonight, yeah.
It looked like
friends and family.
Yeah,
they were missing you, Danny. They were like, "Where's Dan Cochilio? You missed the roll call."
Yeah.
What do you think drew tonight?
It looked like about 10,000 to me or less. I'm sure they'll announce it.
20,000. It says
20,747. There was not 20,000 in that park tonight. There's no way. Just let me show you something here. Let me show you the. Hold on here. I actually. This is the
PK
beginning.
says happy post game. Yes, happy post game.
That's the beginning of the game. Wait.
That says porn stars on it.
Look at
Pornhub. What's Pornhub? Danny, you're getting something from Pornhub.
Yeah.
No.
There was like, and then
I saw
the
the
shots
wind
of the crowd during the game. Yeah, it's like it's crazy. So
PK says Danny text Sable.
I already.
Are you on a texting relationship with Sable?
I just sent him a message. I said, "Hey, congratulations on the walk-off bomb." Anyway, I don't think he'll probably
now. Will he shoot back a, "Hey brother, I couldn't have done it without you"? Will he do? You were the first to believe in me. Remember, you called him the Giants' Brock Purdy.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I like his.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be that, but I do like his athleticism. I do like his. I think give guys a chance to keep playing.
Look at MF. I was yelling at my TV to pinch hit for Sable. That's one of those. No. Yes.
You see the reaction to the bench. They had their rally caps on tonight. Yeah. Hey,
Carla P says Sable is Dan's Brock Purdy. There you go. You will never say a bad word about Sable. How did Sable is Rule 5 out of Pirates or out of Reds?
Pirates, and then the Reds actually drafted him with the 4th overall pick in the Rule 5 draft, and the Giants then made a trade with the Reds. So he belongs.
So he's still in the Rule 5 ruling, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
they have to keep him up
all year.
You know what? I mean, he's not a good defensive player, that's for sure. But
he's not too bad. I mean, he hasn't really.
He's not good. I mean, the ball in left field on opening day.
I mean, he's made some decent catches out there in left field, and he's had a couple mistakes in catching with catcher's interference. He's had one or two kind of pass balls, even a wild pitch that might have a seasoned catcher may have, even though it was a fastball that went way outside and high. But I mean, he's doing an adequate job as framing. Actually, the framing has been pretty good. They've been pretty happy with it. Mark Graves, Sable text read, stop stalking me.
Yeah, exactly. This guy from a 55 and over community, Chisholm. Can you make it end? Hey, which Giant pitcher if you had to guess without looking at the box, which Giant pitcher threw the most pitches tonight?
Most?
And I'll give you a hint. It's 24. The Giants had
24.
the most pitches by a Giant pitcher tonight was
Tyler
24.
Rogers?
Who pitched first, Tyler or Taylor?
Taylor.
Tyler had 21. That's close. Wasn't Tyler.
Was it Taylor?
No, it wasn't Taylor. Taylor was in there for 14 pitches, 12 strikes though. He just lived in the strike zone.
I flipped over to watch the end of the Nuggets.
Brebbia threw 24 pitches in the start. What I don't get is if you have Sean Manaea and you have Junis,
I didn't.
Why aren't you starting one of them and letting them go? I don't know, 5,
6. Yeah, I didn't.
Why are you going with an opener and then bringing 2 long men out of the pen for 1 inning each? I mean, basically, in the first 4 innings of this game, the Giants used 3 pitchers and gave up only 3 hits and 1 earned run. But I don't know. This is where Cap and some of the moves kind of lose me. Yeah, is that a good move to start Brebbia? I mean, it worked. You won tonight. Does it have something to do with the Cardinals? Newt Bar, O'Neill, Goldschmidt, top of the lineup. I don't know.
Robert Rothberg, the Giant magic is back.
The magic's back, baby.
They're still what, 10-13 now?
Carlo P. Long live Rothberg. Oh, by the way, the City Connect. What's their record in the pajamas?
19-6 or something like that now.
19-6 in the PJs.
Just wear them 2 or 3 times a week, man.
Seriously, wear those things all the time.
Yeah. What? Let me see this here.
It's weird though they didn't just start Manaea. Let him see if he can go 5.
Yeah.
We get this one. Will says, "What do we call this? Bullpen management?" Yeah, I mean it's just so random. Such a hodgepodge. That's what I call it. I call it a hodgepodge.
Yeah. No, I mean,
are you distracted, Dan? Are you?
I'm just looking here at I'm trying to look up Blake Sable's minor league. How long has he been in the minors? That's pretty unbelievable though, to hit a 1-2 pitch when you've been struggling and then just
he takes a Herculean cut, man. He takes a big old cut. MF says, "What's your guys' thoughts on Kapler's management tonight?" Well, I was on with Vish during a good portion of the game, so I mean, obviously there were a lot of decisions. He went to 8 different pitchers. What do you think? Is MF referring to something, Danny, that I'm missing that you're all over?
As far as the pitching and all the managing?
Well, no, as far as Kapler and whatever decisions he made tonight.
Well, I just think the pitching was odd. I mean, like we got 6 starters, or we actually have 6 starters plus Junis as a 7th, and then you go, we want to avoid these starters, these openers, so that we don't wear out our bullpen, and you go to a opener, and then you just run through. So what do you got left for tomorrow?
I mean, it sounds like they're always making extra moves. It's like they're guys coming up or going down.
I thought the most classic thing I've heard was they asked some of the Giants players who's going to get the 100th splash hit. They asked Yaz, Jock, Conforto, somebody else like Crawford or Conforto said Jock.
Where are they at right now? 99.
Yeah, Conforto says Jock, and Jock says.
Wade.
He goes, well, I'll take Conforto if he took me. That way we're hitting home run. And then Yaz goes, well, I think it's going to be somebody we don't know. and then
because the entire team is somebody we don't know.
Yeah. He goes, we kind of have the way he said it, he goes, we kind of have a that's the way we do things around here, and it may be somebody who's here for a short period. I thought, Oh,
wild. It's going to be an opener. It's going to be some. What if he's like, yeah, some random Joe's probably going to do it next week, and he'll be gone the next day. Mario Trutanix is only one game behind Soto, Tatis, Machado, and Bogarts. This division isn't as good as everyone thinks. All right, it's April the 25th. Let's let it breathe a little bit. Something tells me the Dodgers, Padres, Diamondbacks will be up top by the time it's over.
I'm looking at his minor league career. He's 25. He started his first year in 19 with A-ball with Pittsburgh, West Virginia. Then he skipped the 2020 pandemic season. Then 2021, he went A+ and A League, and then he went in 22. He was at AA, and then he got some AAA in. So he's moving up each year, and then
moving on up.
Then the Rule 5 pick. So I think obviously guys. I mean, baseball really blew it when they canceled the 2020 season. All these guys that needed an development lost a year. I mean, if you're going to play ball with some leagues, why not just play? I mean, I don't know.
Romo 2001 says Kapler almost lost this game with an inconceivable pitching strategy. I thought the Giants had starting pitching depth. Yaz and Sable saved it in the ninth. An inconceivable strategy? Mark Hope says, Larry and Dan, let's freaking go!
Yeah.
Mark Hope.
And how about Yaz? Let's got to give Yaz some credit. He's actually hitting 291 right now.
Eric L says they kicked Rye out. No, I sent Rye an invitation tonight. He's got the invite.
Yeah,
I want to let him know that he's got the invite.
Yeah, so
maybe he'll join us.
Yeah.
We got this one from Mitchell and Ness. Kapler's interviews equal cringe. It's like just always awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's intensity where there should be none. There's awkwardness when it should just be routine. There's prickliness that will pop up at any moment. I mean, there's exactness, if you want to call it that, where it's like, I'm going to clarify exactly what I ate today at 3:00. It's like he's very exact about things. It's just odd. It's just more odd. J Stamp says the city connects. Strike again.
Yeah.
There you go.
19-6. I believe it's 19-6 now.
19-6. Michael Taylor off Friday and in Mexico this weekend. Going to be fun. Actually, I don't even mind the Giants are off on Friday because it's the draft. That's the trade. That's going to be the Trey Lance night anyway.
Plus, it's Game 6, the Warriors Kings Friday night.
Will we even know that the Giants aren't playing Friday night?
No,
will anybody even notice?
No. So
people are going to be looking at their phone. Hey, I wonder if the Giants won tonight.
Yeah.
Look at Mario. Mario's ripping Dan. Dan always with the negativity. Dan sounds bitter. Mario?
What did I say that was negative or bitter?
I don't remember either. You're just a very negative Nelly. MF says Dan needs to make an appearance at Oracle. Yeah, when are you coming to town?
That'll be a while. I don't know. Just getting this move going. It's been a busy week.
Michael Taylor says it was a weak crowd, but way more than 10,000. LOL.
Really? It didn't look like much. Oh, Dan has herpes, AIDS. That's nice. Thank you.
That's a nice comment. What's this?
Thank you.
Mario, Larry, stop talking about Dan's son, Blake. Yeah, Blake Sable. Is this true? MF says Jake McCarthy got sent down to AAA for Arizona.
Interesting.
I'll take that guy in a second, man. He's so fast.
Yeah. Trade him Wade for McCarthy.
Eric L says, breaking, I'm a Kings fan, but your next NBA champs are the Suns. Probably overreacting to a Suns win. Oh, did you see this today, Danny? Crab sandwich. Losing Brian Reynolds will forever overshadow whatever modest contributions the Giants receive from their 2000 Mercury Sable. Well, Brian Reynolds had nothing to do with Sable, right? I mean, Sable's Rule 5. Reynolds, he's just saying Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, Pirates.
How bad was that? You traded McCutchen for Reynolds. You couldn't even handicap your own organization. I wonder how much time Bobby Evans and Sabes even spent studying Reynolds before they made that trade. Just like, they want Reynolds. All right, here we go. Here's Reynolds. Literally the only good outfielder your system has produced, like, ever. Like, going back, like, decades. And you just handed him over for old man Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah.
Rothberg, once again, with a healthy roster, we can win the division. Robert, get off the drugs, bro. It ain't happening. Mark Graves, no way the big three playing 40-plus minutes won't work in Denver. Oh, yeah, the Warriors. Yeah, the Warriors are going to run into a wall in Denver, but they're going to beat Sacramento. They're going to beat the Lakers. Brian Lucina, because Kapler's obviously smarter than you, Larry.
I just texted Rye. I think he might come. You sent him a link?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
Send him a link. Rothberg, the Giant magic is back.
There we go.
It's back, baby. Brian Lucina. Just kidding. Oh, Brian, I knew you were kidding. Come on.
Yeah.
You compare me to Cap? 4 consecutive wins and counting. Robert Rothberg. Big night for Rothberg. How do you think he celebrates? Maybe we should throw that in the chat. How will Rothberg celebrate? Will he get another burner account? Will Gabe get another burner account? Call it Robert Rothberg 2? Is Rothberg Gabe? Is Rothberg Gabe's burner?
Well,
you'll know if you see Rothberg on the street and he's wearing K-Swiss, you'll know. That's Kapler's burner.
Oh, man.
We got this one from DJ Venus. Don't fool yourself. Krappler still sucks. Don't let the winning streak tell you any different. There we go. I like that. Something to bring us back down. We were going too high. We were too high right there. We were too excited. Too much good vibes. Let's bring it down to Krappler. Mark Hope, 19-6 in the ugliest unis ever. Farhan Magic.
Yeah.
They are so awful. I mean, it's like they're so cheap looking. That's what's so bad about them. It's like they're like kind of like, you know what I mean? They look thin and flimsy. There's no piping. There's no anything. There's no trim. I mean, it looks like something you got at Mervyn's. Do you remember as a kid going to Mervyn's? Mervyn's was kind of like a poor man's Macy's. Where Macy's had the Izod, Mervyn's had the Le Tigre. You know what I mean?
Right,
Nobody wanted the Le Tigre. I mean, if you wanted a polo shirt. If you didn't have a polo shirt, you wanted an Izod shirt. If you were wearing the Le Tigre, I mean, I think people got beat up for the Le Tigre. I mean, that's back in the day. You couldn't get caught. You wouldn't be caught dead wearing the Le Tigre.
That's right.
The Izod? Oh, bring it. The polo? Oh, hell yes. I'll take the polo, but Le Tigre? Oh, it just reeked of like 70s, like Ross or like TJ Maxx was like Mervyn's. Everything was like in a gigantic bin. People were fishing through stuff looking for Mervyn. We'll go to Mervyn's. I remember my mom said, let's stop at Mervyn's.
Mervyn's,
Mom, you don't know what you're doing to me. I can't show up wearing Le Tigre. I'll get worked over. Robert Rothberg, Larry and Dan, Giants are only 2.5 out of first, baby.
Hey, it's April.
Rothberg,
hey,
let's make our play. I may book a hotel right now for the playoffs. Maybe get my rental car set up. Who are the other dominant teams like us? Who are the other juggernauts in the National League like our team, Rothberg? Oh, that's going to be good. That is going to be good. Robert Rothberg says, no team will intimidate the Giants. Ooh, now Rothberg's talking trash. Winning 4 in a row, riding high. Feeling good.
Yeah.
More Rothberg. Rothberg's on our chat roll. Kapler has this team playing the best ball of the season. Wouldn't have done it without him. Hey, look,
How would he feel?
I'm going to go with 8
if
pitchers tonight, guys. I'm going to start with a 7th-inning reliever, but I'm going to a couple long men starters, and I'm going to get an inning out of each of them. And then, guess what? After that, we're going to parade 5 more pitchers to the mound, and we're getting this thing done. I want an 8-team parlay. Forget my 5-teamer. I'm going 8-teamer. I mean, that's cap.
Come on, Rothberg. You know, despite some of the decisions with this pitching tonight, they were down 4-2. The pitching didn't hold up. It was a 9th-inning heroic comeback. I mean, Jock hit a bullet. Second baseman, was that Edmonds again? Whoever it was. Yeah,
Singular Edmund.
Yeah. So he misses it.
That always bugs me too when people are like, I'm a big fan of the Warriors. I love Chris Mullins.
Yeah, it's Chris Mullen.
I'm a big fan of Chris Mullins.
So
I like Nick Mullen.
But if Sable doesn't hit that ball out and somehow he makes an out, now you lost the game. So you can't give the only thing I'll give credit.
Well, the bullpen had 7 innings. 7 innings. They only allowed the first 7 innings. They only allowed 1 run. They kind of blew up in the 8th. But
that's the whole thing. When you pitch,
when you use everybody,
7, 8 guys, somebody's going to have a rough night. Not everybody's going to be like mow them down.
Right. I mean, in some ways, you're begging for somebody to not have it. MF says, does Farhan have more control than Kapler over the management during the game? I think Farhan has more control because when I interviewed Alex Wood on 95.7 The Game, I said, what do you think of Kapler's decision to take you out after 4 2/3? And he's like, well, that's what they wanted to do. And that's what he kept talking about Kapler, and he kept saying they. So they is, not Kapler with a mouse in his pocket. It's Kapler and Farhan. So I think the players know. Gabe ain't making the decisions. It's coming from Farhan.
They
decisions are getting made at 3:30 in the afternoon by the people upstairs who are making the real cash.
Right. Yep.
Right, man. Used to be the other way around. Used to make GMs made a little, managers made a lot. Now the manager is just a stooge for the GM. The GM's the guy now.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, they ended up pulling it out. They won, and the team seems to be gelling a little bit, coming together, getting guys healthy.
Playoffs.
But
playoffs.
It's. I think it's going to be a battle for a 500 team. Now, can they somehow pull it together and win 87, 88 games? And
Kapler will be manager of the year.
I mean,
Gabe maybe Farhan would be manager of the year.
Yeah.
What if Farhan won manager of the year? Now that would be awesome.
Yeah.
The National League manager of the year goes to Farhan Zaidi, Giants general manager.
I just want to see him in a uniform. I want to see with the high socks.
That'd be awesome. just awesome. I want to see him.
Put him and Guy Correa together.
I'd like to see Farhan as the manager, and then I'd like to see him go out to the mound and communicate with somebody through like an Apple Watch. Just go out to the mound and just get your watch really close to your face. You're out on the mound and you're just like, you start kind of doing one of these deals, and then it's on Sports Center. Giants manager Farhan Zaidi diddled his Apple Watch. Oh, man. Good stuff. Brian Lucena, MF, I believe that Kapler gets his ideas from his hand tattoo. That's my sundial on here. Hand tattoo. It is distracting, too, when he's there. I wonder if he's homesick. Robert Rothberg says even with a bad start, the Giants are 2.5 games out of first. Things are about to turn.
Yeah, hey.
Robert Rothberg, Yaz is becoming a dominant player. Dominant. He's hitting 291. 291.
Yeah.
My God, that's like Wade Boggs back in the day.
So
today's modern baseball.
Anybody know? I didn't hear anything on Joey Bart. They did not make a move to bring up another catcher, so he must be day to day. Was there any announcement that anybody heard on Bart? What they're expecting?
We'll see if the chat says anything. I'll say this: I did see highlights today of that righty named Peng they got from the Twins. Did you see that? That guy had a good outing.
Is it Peng or Tang?
Was it Tang?
Is it Kai something Tang or something like that?
I thought it was Peng. P-E-N-G. No?
Let me
look that one up.
P-E-N-G-O.
Kai. Yeah. But he's he's got a good arm, clearly. Senior softball games. Kyle Harrison had a decent start again in Sacramento. Struck out 8 in 3 innings, but walked 4, only gave up 1 run. After that May date, he'll be the first guy up if they need a starter. Love to see it. I'd love to see it. Be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't see. I thought that guy was on the top 30. But they're moving their top 30 prospects around. A guy named Spencer Miles just moved into the top 30. Interesting.
MF says Kapler's too extra. I'd rather grill some tri-tip on a Traeger with Boch and have a beer. Get a Traeger. You want to? Hey, I got a little ribeye for you, MF. Sit down. Get a beer. Kapler walks in. Do you have any tofu turkey? No, I do not.
Oh, man.
We get this one. This is a nice one from Sawyer Stewart. Lance won't be traded. Yeah. Way to read the room. Because that's totally what we're talking about. Robert Rothberg. I would notice. Look at Rothberg.
Oh, somebody said Ricardo Genovese was on the taxi squad. So
there you go. Another catcher.
So how does that work? Taxi squad. I guess he's ready to.
He was up. That means he was here.
So what's that mean? If Sable gets hurt, you can't bring him in. You got to wait till the next game, right?
You got to wait till the next game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Hope says Cap equals always awkward. Larry equals always legendary. There you go.
Hey, good. Speaking of legendary, good interview today. I saw some clips of you with Grant
Napier?
This morning. I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing, but what I did see was good. He's a solid guy.
Yeah, I mean Grant got a bad deal. Got a really bad deal.
Yeah, just for saying
I know him. I've known him for Danny. I met him. I was an intern for him when I was at Sac State.
Wow.
And we're talking about 1990. And we used to get together on the campus at Sac State because Grant was a young broadcaster at that point. This is probably before he even had kids. And we used to get together and throw the lacrosse ball around on campus sometimes, and because he played lacrosse in high school. And I was playing for Sac State at the time. And then we'd throw the lacrosse ball around, just talk Kings, and then I would go to Channel 31, get there in the afternoon, and edit some of the highlights, write some of the scripts, that kind of thing. And then I would go with him to the games, and help him anything he needed at the games. I was his intern, and you know what? I saw him in so many settings around so many people, and he treated everybody incredibly well. And so listening to DeMarcus Cousins and Chris Webber and Matt Barnes trash this guy was tough to hear. It was really tough to hear, since I know they were wrong, and I know that all those guys, live in glass houses and should never throw stones.
All he said is what? All lives matters.
That's what he said, and I understood why there was pushback, but I think there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough, latitude given to a man of his age who made that comment. Nobody ever asked him where he was coming from. Nobody did any due diligence on who he was, what he's done. It was just wrong on so many levels. Guy's the voice of the team for 30 years. So, it was just wrong on so many levels. And who are the guys who called him out? I mean, how's their credibility? Could you do a deep investigation on Chris Webber? Chris Webber lied to the grand jury, sold out a guy that he took money from while he was at Michigan. I mean, my goodness.
And look at all
Weber's no
Matt
great
Barnes.
guy. DeMarcus Cousins is no great shakes either. Matt Barnes is not like he's got the perfect reputation. I'd take Grant Napier's personal reputation over all three of those guys.
Right.
And yet the Kings cowered and fired him. The radio station Bonneville cowered and fired him. It was just wrong on several levels. And as somebody who knows him, it used to make my skin crawl when I would hear people on the radio who'd never met him, don't know him at all, talking definitively about whether he deserved to lose his job or not. You don't even know him. You've never even talked to him. And I'm like, hey, guys, I know you're filibustering on this, but I'm actually the guy who actually knows him. Maybe I should say something. Right. And then the fact that Doug Christie sold him out, his own partner, didn't even say a good word about him. My God, Doug Christie, how do you live with yourself? Embarrassing. Right. Embarrassing.
Yeah, he should.
That's embarrassing. All those guys have to own that.
Right.
We welcome in Rye. Rye, how are you, man?
What's up? I have no idea what the topic of this even is. Are we talking Giants, I'm assuming?
Oh, we're talking Giants. Danny just commented because I did a live stream earlier today with Grant Napier. Okay. And I used to be an intern for him, and we talk Kings Warriors, but then I asked him.
What did he have to say about the series? Who did he say?
He likes Golden State, but he thinks Kings have to win Game 5. He thinks the Game 5 winner, has to get. He thinks Sacramento's either going to win Game 5, or if they don't win Game 5, he likes Golden State. But I like Golden State too, but I think Golden State could lose Game 5 and win it in 7. What do you guys think?
I think they're winning Game 5.
Fox?
What's the latest? What
with Fox?
Yeah, is he going to play?
Chipped finger, going to play, but how does it affect his shooting? How does it affect his dribbling? How does it affect his passing? I don't know. I really don't know, but he's going to play.
I mean,
Mark
had
Hope's
pretty wet at the end of the game. I don't understand.
Well, I mean, by the way, what's that background?
Oh, he's in Linden.
Are you in Linden?
I was looking for a Giants background. I saw it.
Green screen. Green screen.
So Judge's mom is right behind you?
I think so.
Is that Willard?
No, that's Mrs. Judge.
Wow.
Oh man, Marco says Larry absolutely destroying YouTube. Love it. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. So Rye, how are you, man? What'd you think of? Did you watch any of the Giants game tonight, or
not a single second? But that's okay.
They came from behind and won it.
Oh really? Okay, wait. You know what I would love
is walk off.
Guess how they won it.
Give me a clue. Okay, well I want to know that. But after you tell me how they won it, give me like a little Giant summary, because obviously I was down at training camp, but being away at rehab just kind of completely fell off the map. There was not really any sports guys there and didn't have phones and all that crap. So I just kind of got out and saw that Bruce Bochy's killing it, and the Giants look like they're kind of the same old Giants.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, how would you describe what we've seen so far?
Boring, for the most part.
Sleepy.
Yeah, pretty anemic offense. If they weren't hitting home runs, they were striking out and getting several games. They weren't getting hits after the 4th, 5th inning. They were 6-13. Now they've won 4 in a row, and they look like they have a little bit of life in them at this point, especially after tonight. Winning in dramatic fashion tonight after going down. They're up 2-1 through 7 innings. They went behind 4-2 in the 8th, and in the 9th, Peterson leads off with a bullet base hit that goes off the second baseman. Then Yaz hits a double, scores Peterson from first. And then Crawford, somebody made an out. Estrada, I think it was. Just don't know can't remember what he did. But then Crawford didn't look too good at the plate. Got fooled and struck out down to 2 outs. And then Sable comes up, and then it's like he takes 2 quick strikes, and it looks like he's overmatched. And then on a 1-2 pitch, he drills one to deep center and knocks it out of the park for a walk-off.
What? That's what I was going to say. How's our guy Sable doing?
Sable's looking good. I mean, he's struggled defensively, and he doesn't really have a position. He's catcher's interference. He looks kind of like a fish out of water and left. But what's real clear, very good athlete, ton of bat speed, really underrated foot speed for a big guy, and he's got big-time thump, man. I mean, he can run into a few.
That's his fourth homer, so he's second on the team in home runs behind J.D. Davis.
Yeah, he's been nice.
So, yeah, it was a big and it was pretty fun to see him hit it. You know, he comes flying, you know, around the bases, jumps up onto home plate. You know, he's got the big goggles on, and you know, people are squirting him with water and whatever.
You couldn't get him on the show after?
I texted him just to see if, you know, I figure he probably did the post game show with NBC Sports Bay Area. I'm sure he was on there. Maybe you haven't even looked at his phone yet, or
you like this little trickery I've got going on here?
Look at that.
Pulling up the old box.
Danny and I did a mock draft the other night on his channel, and Dan had never done one, and he had to. It brought us back to the fantasy football draft show, and it was, you know, how do I share screen? How do I do this? How do I pick here? Then Danny got into it, right? Because I gave him control of it. I didn't just do it on my end. I had him where I do all the maneuvering. Next thing I look up, he's exploring, like, because the trades on the Pro Football Network or whatever, I think it's, or Draft Countdown or whatever it's called, the simulator, it gives you like accept the trade, reject the trade, or counter. And once Dan hit counter and saw all the options of, oh, wait a second, you can add players, you can take picks back, you can trade future draft picks and future seasons. He just goes down this rabbit hole. I see him just moving, clicking, and this trade got denied. That trade got denied. I mean, it was
frozen, just Rye. I'm not sure. Mark Gray says you're frozen. You're not moving. We can hear you. I think
my internet's a little shisty right now.
Hear you, but hey, there's a comment, Robert Rothberg. Okay, Robert, if you're gonna make comments,
where is it? At
the bottom? 1016, a little bit up. You've got to be credible. You can't just make blanket statements and say at the present moment the Giants are the most exciting team in baseball.
What?
Come on, Robert.
Where does it say that?
Rothberg.
He says they're the most exciting team. I'm assuming he means in baseball. Maybe. I mean, how is this exciting? I mean, yeah, this is exciting the ninth inning, but the rest of the game, the last.
So he goes, we're the most exciting team in the last 4 days.
Well, then he says, at the present moment, the Giants are the most exciting team.
Mark Hope says, Rye, love you, dude. Let's go, with lots of O's.
Am I super frozen right now?
No, now you're okay. Now you're okay.
Okay, I might have to get the Ethernet going.
You got that
nice background there. You got
that. A nice background. It's like a chalkboard.
One of the walls I just painted. Is that evergreen? Also, is that evergreen fog? Sherwin-Williams evergreen fog?
I was going to say, Dan, you cannot find me with my browser open on a live stream typing in Pro Football Focus, because I just cannot even put a P up there. The implication would be too dark.
Chardal says, can you send a link? All right. You know what, Chardal? Just because I'm feeling it tonight, I'm going to send you a link. There you go, Chardal. You now have a link. There's now a video chat link in the chat. So anybody who wants to participate via video call.
There it is, the Krug Show. There's the Rye with olive oil background. Yeah. How about the Giants? The most exciting National League team in the Bay Area, says Mike Vass. National League team.
They're the most exciting national. Here we go. PK says the big three is back.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
Well, the thing about it, and there's the chat. The thing about the Giants, it's like we're all rooting for them. It's just a matter of, man, opening day and this off season from hell, and just a lot of the same guys. I mean, come on, you cannot be down on us if we're on those of us who are like skeptical. I mean, seriously, if you're not skeptical, you're not critical enough. You're too easy. You know what I mean? If you're loving it that much and you're not skeptical, you gotta be somewhat skeptical. They tried for Judge, they tried for Correa, they wound up with Haniger and Conforto. I mean, you've got to be a little bit skeptical of this offseason. Anybody who's sitting here going, oh yeah, this is awesome. Come on, it's not. They don't have a single homegrown star player. Their farm system hasn't spit out talent yet. That we're in a transition period for the franchise. Let's not try to pretend that it's anything more than what it is.
Marco, yeah. Oh my God. Yes, Rise boxers. Was Ryan in his boxers? It looked like he was.
There you go.
Boxers, and he's looking over. I see him. He's peeking. There he is. Rye chilling in boxers. Yeah. There you go. What I want to ask
Spencer Stewart, put some pants on for Christ's sake, right? Tyler Choi says, where has Ryan been? Well, we could ask him when he gets back, but he's already told us. Rye's been in rehab. That's where Rye's been.
Yeah.
Working on himself.
Yeah.
Robert Rothberg, Larry and Dan, I have a lot of faith in Haniger and Conforto. That's so funny because I just saw them tweet out that they have a lot of faith in you, Robert. So you know what? Together. Here we go. Daniel, highly skeptical, LOL.
I mean,
Kyle says the Creamsicles own all teams. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. Stick the creamsicles on every night, man.
GD5 Sports. Ryan needs to skip leg day. Haha. MF says, why is Lamont Wade hitting leadoff? Why not?
Well,
high on base.
High on base. What did he do?
Nobody
tonight?
Better? The nobody
Lamont
better
Wade
edict?
Tonight, 1 for 4, raised his average to 218.
It'd be nice if the Giants had a really athletic. Danny was suggesting Jazz Chisholm. It would be really nice if they had a super athletic,
He's
top
leading the
of order
league, by
threat.
the way, in strikeouts at 38%. So maybe he's going to be available.
Well, they won't go for him then.
He
Right?
fit in.
Yeah, exactly. We want somebody who will strike out with us.
I don't know what's going on with Bryce Johnson. He must have
concussion?
He hasn't come back from it. It's been a
I
couple.
like
weeks.
him in center field, man.
I do too.
Bryce Johnson. I mean, I didn't talk about that very much because the Giants have been such crap and so dry and dull. But Bryce Johnson takes angles in center field that remind me, Danny, wait for it. He reminds me of Darren freaking Lewis. Darren Lewis didn't have much of an arm, but he took the best. He had the best jumps, and it was so pure.
Yeah, Darren
He
Lewis.
didn't take bad.
Fielder.
Yeah, true center fielder.
Didn't he play Cal?
This guy
Darren
is.
Lewis?
Yeah, he went to
play
Cal.
World Series. Didn't they make it to the College World Series? I think with Darren Lewis.
Giants
Cal?
traded somebody for Darren Lewis to the
Wasn't
A's.
he with the A's?
Ernie
Yeah,
Riles. I think it was Ernie Riles.
Oh yeah.
Giants traded Ernie Riles to the A's, and they got Darren Lewis back. Darren Lewis was a great player on the '93 Giants. To me,
Cool.
I don't care what the 21 team did. The '93 Giants were the best Giants team.
Oh,
ever.
they were loaded. I mean, Will Clark. You had
Matt Williams,
Bonds, and
Gold Glovers everywhere.
Look at the three bombers.
Look at the outfield defense. Bonds in his prime, Darren Lewis, and Willie McGee.
Yeah, that was a great team.
That was a great team. Killer Penn, Burba, Jackson, Beck,
Yeah, you had
Brantley.
You had Dave Burba that was
2 20-game winners. They had Burkett and Swifty.
And then
they had They ran out of starters.
Yeah.
They remember that last weekend. They're coming down the stretch in '93, leaning on Jim DeShays and Scott Sanderson and Solomon Torres.
Solomon Torres, the end of the last game of the year.
Torres.
They should have pitched Woody the last game of the. Was he?
No, he wasn't there. That was 02.
Woody. No. Who was it? We should have pitched.
They should have. What they should have done was they should have accepted the Solomon Torres for Dennis Martinez trade in July.
Oh, gosh.
They could have gotten El Presidente. He was there. He was one of the best pitchers in the game. They wanted Solomon Torres. The Giants didn't want to give Solomon Torres. The Giants fell behind the Braves, and in the final 21 games, went 17-4 down the stretch. And all 4 losses, Solomon Torres.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about the year they should have traded.
Last game, it was like 10-0 or something. Dodgers.
12-0, I think. 12-1.
Yeah.
Piazza hit one literally out of Dodger Stadium to left that day.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Rockies they were expansion. They were just such crap. And I think the Braves went like 16-0 against them. It was, and that was it. That was the difference. Braves traded for Fred McGriff. I'll never forget it. Padres, talk about loser Padres. Randy Smith, the loser GM of the Padres. How non-competitive is this? You trade Fred McGriff in the division at the deadline for Melvin Nieves, Vince Moore, and Donnie Elliott for Fred McGriff. And the Braves went on and won 80% of their games the rest of the way. He showed up at Fulton County Stadium. There was a huge fire in the press box, and they made a joke about it. Hey, tonight the press box caught fire, but so did the Braves. And they literally won 8 of every 10 the rest of the way. Goddamn Padres. Always hated the Padres for that. All right, Chardall, what's going on, brother?
What were your thoughts on the Blake Sable 2-run game-winning home run?
Danny,
we gave it already.
Stop. We don't repeat ourselves on this show. We only say everything once.
Yeah,
you said it was at 9:30. Go look back on YouTube now.
Yeah, thought it was amazing,
was exciting,
awesome. I mean, very excited. I was just watching it again just now on my phone here. I was just like, pretty remarkable for a guy who's down 2 strikes, and he's probably just looking to protect at that moment, and somehow he knocks it out of the park. Pretty wild. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I mean that 2-run home run by Sable was I mean, he has power. I mean, that kid got a lot of power. I mean, he can hit that ball.
I love how Chardall comes on different shows and he just kind of takes over the interview.
He's the guy. He's the
guy, man.
Chardall, what'd you think of the game? It was a good win for the Giants.
Were you there, Chardall? Were you at the?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't at the game. I was busy. I was doing something. So I catch a little bit of the game at the end. It was 4-2, and at that point I thought the Cardinals had the lead, and I thought the game was over. But then when Sable stepped up to the plate and hit that home run, the game changed all of a sudden. Like
it was over.
It
really did change because everybody left the field and then they turned off the lights. No, I hear you. No, it was a huge moment for the Giants. 4 wins in a row. Heck, any win streak at all at this point is a good thing.
So Dan, do you think that the San Francisco Giants have a chance of sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals, because they already won 2 games in the series? I mean, it's a 4-game series.
Well, they do have a chance.
You got 2 more games left.
Of course they have a chance. There's 2 games left. Will they do it? This is a big blow to the Cardinals to lose this way. There's a possibility that they could sweep them after this, because when a team has, struggling like the Cardinals and they lose like they lost tonight, and the Giants are won 4 in a row, I would say the momentum's clearly in the Giants' favor right now. So, baseball is kind of funny that you come back tomorrow, it's a new game, but you get a good pitching performance. Could they
got DeSclafani and Webb going. They're sitting chilly right now.
So,
hey, Chardal, what do you think? You want Bumgarner coming back, Chardal?
I love Bumgarner, man. He was the OG of the Giants, man, and I want him to come back on the team.
All right, brother. Hey, have a great night. We appreciate you. Call us whenever. Same time next year. Call us right back. Brian Iglesias says, speaking of athletic star outfielder, to make matters worse for the Giants, Brian Reynolds signed a huge contract today, 8 years, $106 million. Thank you, Bobby Evans. I think we call him Robert. Thank you, Robert Evans. It's easier to dislike somebody named Robert.
And they kind of got McCutchen back. Andrew McCutchen's back now with the Pirates, and he's
great.
Kind of
it's
having
a reunion.
Just kind of like the Giants with J.D. Davis and Darren Ruff, huh?
Big Darren Ruff, glass
Darren
half full
Ruff.
guy, says, as a fan, it just confuses me that Farhan can look at this lineup and be okay with it. A bunch of 4A guys. At least give Ramos a fair shot and bring up Schmidt. Great show, Dan. Keep it up.
Hey, by the way, Ramos hit a home run tonight.
Did he?
And I was looking at his stats earlier. Let me take a look. He was hitting in the high 300s down there.
Good for him. Maybe he gets
a big
going.
Double off the wall to right center. Was it Sunday? Yeah. Hits a nice double to right center, and then the next day he's sent down. It's like,
he has some things to work on, but I hope they don't give up on him because the talent is enormous. MF says, is Ned Coletti going to come on? Not tonight, but yeah, absolutely. He'll be on a regular basis this year. We got Rothberg saying, Dan, please elaborate on how effective Tyler Rogers is pitching. Please elaborate, Dan.
How effective? Well, he's effective. He's pitching well.
Maybe throw a super in there. Like he's super effective.
Yeah, he's super effective right now. He's probably their best, most reliable guy coming out of the bullpen right now. Alexander had been doing pretty well up until tonight. But yeah, I like the way Tyler Rogers is pitching. So very effective.
Yeah. There you go. Crab Sandwich says 93 Giants would have dismantled Philly and Toronto. They would. You're half right. They would have dismantled Philly. Nobody was taking down the 93 Jays. Come on. That team had Molitor, Ricky, Carter. 93 Jays were freaking awesome. They were a great team. They'd gone back to, they won the year before. So then they came back and won back-to-back. Rye's back with us. Rye.
Frustrated.
What do you think of Kings Warriors? Have you been able to watch Kings Warriors?
Oh yeah. Also, so I'm in like an office space thing, not the movie, but I will be moving, so I will have better internet. I'm super frustrated because there's like a zillion Ethernets right next to me, and I keep trying them, and it's honestly the upload speed's worse. So I don't really know what's up with that. But I had a little exercise for you. This was just the way I was thinking about it. And granted, I have not been like as day to day with the Dubs as I normally am, as I'm sure you guys are, as like Cy is. But I did do a little exercise, essentially just comparing the team, trying to step away and just comparing the team to last year's team that won a title.
Right.
So Steph, still here. I'd say he's playing the same. Clay's still here. I think Clay's playing better.
Yeah.
Okay, Wiggins.
It depends what night you catch him. Some nights he's not as good. Other nights he's really good.
Absolutely. But he was pretty he was a little sketch, like going in, like beginning of playoffs, a little sketch.
Yeah, last year he was
too big. But this is I feel like it's a slightly better defense, all that. So at least wash, probably positive. Wiggins, I'm going to say, we haven't really seen enough. He hasn't been the crazy Wiggins from last year's playoff run, but
he's not the rebounder. He's not rebounding like he did last year in the playoffs.
4 games, he's looked pretty good, though.
But no, he has looked good. And the thing about Wiggins is the time off, you can see there's a lot of guys who don't have lift in their legs this time of year. He really does.
Absolutely. And then Draymond, so I'll say he's about the same. Draymond,
He's better this year.
yeah, he might be better. He was pretty inconsistent down the stretch in the finals run.
He's been good. I mean, I thought Draymond could have had a triple-double in this last game.
I
I thought
had a good year.
he had a key. First of all, let's just go back to the last moment of the last game, Game 4. You know what? What I love about Draymond Green, there's times on the floor, guys, where he looks like he's losing control, but then he keeps his mental, focus. That last sequence, he had a very clear thought at the end, which is make somebody that's not named De'Aaron Fox beat you. So he just forced the ball out of Fox's hands. Fox threw it over to Barnes. You can live or die with Barnes' shot. Barnes is ice right now, and he missed. So I thought that was huge. It's like force somebody besides Steph Curry to beat you if you're going against the Warriors. And if you're going against Sacramento, somebody not named De'Aaron Fox. Shoot it, and I'll take my chances.
Totally in Sabonis' head. So, okay, about the same. Looney, I'll say Looney the same, but honestly, maybe better. Like, he's been pretty incredible. Jordan Poole.
Looney's better.
Looney's better. So I think
Looney's playing well, yeah.
Poole's maybe a little worse.
Yeah.
Poole's a little worse.
Poole has not gotten it really going yet.
DiVincenzo, in this one, I did a cross comparison of DiVincenzo and Otto Porter. Slightly different, but overall, I don't think it's that much of a difference.
I love DiVincenzo. I need DiVincenzo with the Warriors' current lineup to score.
Yeah,
we need him to score. It's great that he rebounds, and he does. It's great that he gets people involved, assists. He does. But look at the bench right now. Kuminga's giving you zilch. Peyton's not giving you any offense. Moody's not giving you any offense. You're missing Otto and Bielitsa and last year's bench unit. You got to get some points off the bench from DiVincenzo. I mean, the Warriors took 12 or 13 fewer field goal attempts than Sacramento in this last game. They were lucky to get out of there with a win. They really were.
Absolutely. And then you get to GP2. Look, I don't know what's up with GP2 because he's not the same guy that we saw last year. I mean, but maybe he's just still kind of I still am holding out hope for the guy, but I'd say maybe slightly worse. So it's Steph the same, Clay better, Wiggins the same, Draymond about the same, Looney the same, if not better, Poole worse, DiVincenzo about a wash with Porter, GP2 a little worse. Kuminga, I think, is still better than last year. Last year, he couldn't really get on the court. Moody's looking better, more comfortable than last year. Obviously, Bielitsa is better than Jermichael Green, but we're getting deep on the bench. And then Lamb, JTA, who really cares? And then Damian Lee was not. It was nice, obviously. But my point being just that they won a championship last year, and the team is not that much different. For everybody that's slightly worse, there's a guy that's slightly better. So I don't know. Maybe they can't. Maybe they were just effing around during the year. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but it's kind of hilarious that it might be Lakers Warriors, the ultimate. Just kind of people wrote him off, I guess.
I know.
Steph again.
Mark Hope says Donnie Elliott. Wow, Larry is one of one. I quoted the no-name pitcher that was in the Fred McGriff trade. A couple in the super chat want to get to here. Mario says Kapler doesn't do shit. It's all about the players. All right. TK Yang, let's go for the sweep. Brian Iglesia. Fox said he's 99% going to play in Game 5. My biggest concern is how he'll be able to handle putting touch on his floaters and the mid-range shots.
Why did he even put it out there then? Because now he's just going to get targeted.
I know. That's good. That's a great point. That really is. Why would you alert everybody to an injury if you're going to play with it? PK says, guys, where's Bumgarner going? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, is Bumgarner done, guys? Or is Bumgarner got something left?
It doesn't. I mean, unless he's got some, goes to Texas and gets rejuvenated with Boch or comes back to
becomes a reliever, a late inning reliever.
I don't see him really going anywhere else. Having he needs some kind of boost. His stuff is pretty hittable.
Goldschmidt had 2 hits again today. God damn it! What is his issue? with the
Oh,
Giants.
he owns. He's a part owner. Rocky in Connecticut ripping. He's like skeptical? Question mark. You wanted Piscotty and other crap. I'd still rather have Piscotty. You wanted the Giants to pick up Bumgarner's contract from Arizona. Yeah, in as a way to get awesome players coming back like Pavin Smith and McCarthy and Ketel Marte, and that's what we proposed. It says MLB has passed Larry by. Dan is low energy.
Low energy. Ooh.
Oh,
It's Rocky.
Jed Bush.
That's Rocky in Connecticut, everybody.
Connecticut. Rocky out of
Rocky and Mystic Pizza, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Tribe says they won't bring Mad Bum back. It makes too much sense. We got this one from Mark Hope. Love you, Rye. Always, bro. Let's go. MF says, what does Ryan think of Trey Lance? Yeah, we've been talking a lot of Trey Lance, Rye.
Okay, that's another one. Fill me in like I'm literally a baby because I got out of here and all of a sudden I'm seeing nonstop Trey Lance trade stuff. What has prompted
All
this?
right.
Is it just the fact that there was that report that they're listening to stuff?
I'll fill you in on what you've missed so far. Okay, the dinosaurs came. Then they got big and fat and died. All right, and then that's from Airplane. No, but basically, you saw Trey Lance's year. Then he got hurt. You know all about that.
Yeah.
And I predicted after listening to Lynch at the Combine say, you know what, Trey Lance has got to play, and that's the challenge because we got a team that's ready to win right now. And when he said that, the implication was clear: is that Trey has to play, and despite Brock's injury, they don't view Trey as being ready to play and win games right now. They think he needs more development, which makes sense. So I just read the tea leaves and said, based on what I'm hearing and reading, it sounds to me like they're getting ready to trade Trey Lance. This was at the Combine. I said this in February. And I've been taking a lot of heat from people who feel like it isn't going to happen and that I'm somehow pushing for this. And I tried to explain to them, hey, I'm not rooting. You guys know because you were with me when Trey was drafted, and I like Trey. I mean, I want. I'm a fan of Trey, but my read on it is that they want to commit to Brock Purdy, believe he's their guy. That they really were never committed to Trey. They were just committed to building their roster around a quarterback on a rookie deal, and so they now have that with Purdy. And I just think that they're going to, when Lynch comes out and says Trey needs to play, I think they're going to move him to a place in the AFC where he can play and make mistakes on a team that's not a title contender. And I think they're going to wind up replacing him in the draft. And that's kind of what I see. Now, Lynch came out the other day, Rye, and said that, I expect Trey to be with us, but I just kind of think that has a lot to do with the fact that I don't think anybody who's making trade proposals for Trey, I don't know that Trey's anybody's first choice. I think the Niners are probably getting 3 or 4 teams that are like, hey, if this quarterback's not on the board, or if we get to this point in the draft and this player's not there, and we could have some interest in Trey. So I think it's all contingency based trades, and so Lynch is like, hey, I expect him to be back because he's going to then come back over the weekend and say, hey, we didn't expect to get offered 2/3 and Davis Mills, but we did, and we pulled the trigger. So I just my feeling on it is just that I think they're going to commit to Brock, move on from Trey, and draft a rookie quarterback and have Darnold as the clear 2, which makes perfect sense why then so many people are predicting that Darnold's going to start the year because he's only going to have to beat out a rookie instead of Trey Lance. And I don't think Trey Lance would be beaten out by Darnold. I think Lance would beat Darnold out. So when people are predicting Darnold's going to start week 1, I think that's because they may know that the Niner plan is to trade Trey and go with the rookie as the 3rd quarterback. So that's my read. I know a lot of people feel like Lynch stated that Lance is going to be on the team by what he said yesterday in Santa Clara. I didn't take it that way. We'll see this weekend. That's kind of really it. I don't think the Niners have changed their thoughts at all about what they thought of Trey Lance, what they currently think about Trey Lance. I just think it's simply the Niners are now getting to a point where Trent Williams may retire. George Kittle's 30, and their core is ready to win right now. They're no longer ahead of schedule. In fact, you could argue their window could be closing around them as far as winning a Super Bowl. And I think they are hell-bent on maximizing this year. And I think they'll wind up moving on from Trey, going for a rookie quarterback that they think is more ready to play, and turning Trey into an asset or two that makes them better this year. So that's how I see it. Who knows how it will come out.
Okay, so I guess my only question, I mean, now I'm just super excited for the draft because of the implications. But the only question I'd have is just like, how's Purdy coming along? Because like when I went in, the way I kind of felt was like, Darnold's there because they don't want to just give Trey the job. Like if Purdy's not ready at the start of the season, and they want Trey to earn it. They want someone to compete with Trey. And whether that's, Darnold or Purdy rushes back, and then I guess they can have a competition. And I guess I was just sort of thinking maybe, they have 2 rookie deals.
See, I've brought this question up as well. It's like, what do you really believe the 49ers want this summer? Do they want a big old quarterback battle royale between Trey and Darnold, and then eventually Trey, Darnold versus Purdy? Or do they want to recommit to Purdy, solidify him as the starter, have him as the unquestioned starter, and then have a more kind of clearly defined pecking order at quarterback, as opposed to let's compete out there and see who's the best guy? I understand why people want to see the competition, because we've only seen Trey Lance play 4 games, and we've heard that Darnold's new and improved, and he was great in Carolina, and obviously Purdy's Purdy and played really well. So there's part of, I think, everybody that's like, yeah, let's bring on the competition. But I just don't believe at the end of the day that that's really what the Niners want. If you said, what do you think they want? I think they want to have a quarterback that's more ready to play than Trey, and I think they want to have assets that they get in return for Trey, because I think you might be able to get a significant player. I think the Niners need a tackle. They need a pass rusher. They need a corner. They need a safety. They need a tight end. They may need a quarterback. I mean, they have 5 or 6 pressing needs. I think they probably want to see if they can trade Trey Lance for a couple of day 2 picks and see if they can go forward with more of a veteran quarterback behind Purdy and Darnold. That's my guess, though. I don't have any sources.
Yeah, honestly, I could buy it a little bit but depending on like Purdy's medicals. Like if they're saying like Purdy's looking great and he's going to be chilling by, game 2 or something like that, then I could be convinced. But if it's a little more like we want to be cautious with Purdy sort of deal, then I think they'll probably keep Trey. I mean, Darnold, I feel like Darnold's kind of had his chances.
I don't understand why Kyle's so optimistic. I don't understand why there's so many people that are talking up Sam Darnold when he has gotten opportunities and played very poorly. Has he not?
Yeah, and he's like almost become a running quarterback. Unless McCaffrey is just getting.
It could be.
I don't know.
You could see, him a little bit more refined in Kyle's offense with all the weapons, with the way Kyle calls the game. It could play into more of Darnold's strengths and, magnify those, and maybe his weaknesses aren't as exposed, because he throws a lot of interceptions. But in Kyle's passing game, you got guys that are, somebody's open, and instead of
you got McCaffrey passes underneath, right? I mean, that's going to help that helped Jimmy. It made Purdy look good. Having Christian McCaffrey underneath to dump it to late in the down, I thought it helped Garoppolo immensely. How many times did we see Garoppolo where he's like looking right, looking left, looking around, nothing's there? And last year and previous years, he would have taken a sack or thrown it away, or just negative play, turned it over. Instead, he just there's Christian, quick, dump it to him in the flat, and you turn it into a 5-yard gain.
Couldn't that make a guy like Darnold or even Trey, having McCaffrey as a check down, so much more dangerous? Because if you've got a check down where you can break out of the pocket and you can drop it off to to McCaffrey, or you're a threat to run outside the pocket, I think that puts a lot of pressure on a defense because you come up on Trey, it's just dump it to McCaffrey. If you guard McCaffrey and you try and, negate that, maybe there's a chance to run, make 7-8 yards. You know what I'm saying? And just get down.
Yeah.
It seems like to me.
For me, the single thing that I want the most, if they're going to keep Trey, is I want another tight end. I want another big target. And then it's like McCaffrey, 2 big tight ends, and then and then you got the burners.
Because Danny Gray is not really, I don't think he gets, Brock and Brock's strength isn't the deep ball. Where that's what Trey.
I mean, Brock's been great thrown to the tight end. I mean, look what Lance. I mean, look what Kittle did after Brock showed up.
Oh yeah, it's like
Kittle's going to add like another level to his freaking house because of Brock Purdy. Glass half full guy says, "Hey Larry, curious if you think Lynch wants to trade Lance, but Kyle doesn't." No, I think they're in lockstep. I think John may have made some comments that people have interpreted as he doesn't want Lance, but where Kyle's been maybe a little bit more seemingly like he's open to the idea, but I think they're in lockstep. I mean, these guys, I don't think you can separate Lance or Shanahan and Lynch. I think they pretty much are, they're simpatico, I think, on everything. Will Martinez has a lot of chatter about Lance to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I just don't see it. If the Buccaneers take another quarterback, it's going to be Hendon Hooker if he falls into the second round, and they ain't trading their first-round pick or Devin White. Well, there is a lot of talk they are going to trade Devin White. I'll tell you one of the interesting names that I saw today. I saw an article, guys, about veteran players who could get moved during the draft around the NFL, and Trey Lance was at the top of the list. And, there's other guys you would expect. D-Hop is on there. Number
would actually be a good target for Lance.
Yeah, I mean, but D-Hop makes $19 million,
Yeah.
So he's, but I mean, there was a number of guys who were rumored to be moving around the league. But one of them on the list was Montez Sweat. And to me, if you're the 49ers, we talk about, maybe Trey
with the Redskins.
He's with the Commanders now. Yeah, Redskins Commanders. But yeah,
that's right.
Mayhew, everybody talks about Rand Carthon because he used to work for the Niners. And a lot of people talk about D'Amico because he used to work for the Niners. But the guy who was here when Trey was drafted, who may have had a big hand in drafting him, was Martin Mayhew. And Mayhew's now the general manager in Washington.
Right.
And to me, I think the one thing the 49ers may want to do in any trade involving Trey is get a player coming back so it's not such a referendum on a certain value pick. Because if you throw a player in there, then it changes the whole dynamic of the trade, and it's like, for example, I don't know that there's a team that's going to give them a second-round pick or even a third-round pick. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to give them a first. But they may not be any teams want to give them a 2 or a 3. But if you could get Washington to give you a 4 or a 5 and Montez Sweat, now you've got your solution opposite Nick Bosa. You have your dominant front 4 that's probably as good as Philly's, maybe better. You've now successfully replaced D Ford and Ebukam and Amenahue and Jordan Willis, who just walked out the door. That would be interesting. And I haven't looked at Washington's picks. I think they pick in the teens in the first round. I don't know what they have as far as a group of picks after round 1. But I could see Mayhew trading for Trey Lance, and I could see Montez Sweat in a 49er uniform. Maybe you get a 4th or 5th round pick and a conditional pick next year in Montez Sweat, something like that. A guy like Sweat would be the perfect addition to round out the Niners front 4 with Hargrave and Armstead and Bosa. So just an idea, but I thought that one caught my eye. If Montez Sweat's really available, man, get him here. Will Martinez, appreciate that comment. We got this one. Don't be surprised if we trade for Brian Burns and reunite with Wilkes. It would be a dream. I mean, I don't see that happening, but that would be incredible.
Let me ask you this, Larry. If you're Houston,
yeah,
you got the
2 and 12.
You got the 12th pick. Would you take this trade, if you're the Niners in Houston, would you trade the 99th, 101, and 102 along with Trey to get the 12th pick? Would both teams be interested in that? And the reason I
don't
say
think
that,
I don't think the Niners would be, Danny, because Lynch said that in his mind the theme of this draft is the depth. So I don't think they're in a rush to parlay their thirds to move up. But I do think that there's 2 or 3 players that, like, if they fell out of the first round, Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh, Michael Mayer, the Notre Dame tight end, maybe Isaiah Foskey, the Notre Dame defensive end. There might be 1 or 2 more that if they got out of the first round, that I could see the Niners calling the Texans and say, hey, we'll give you a third and Trey Lance if we can get that high 2. Because I think if you could add, like Rye said, if you could add Michael Mayer, a tight end like that, to Kittle,
Mayer. Or
that would make them a completely better football team. And if you could get Isaiah Foskey, I think you get a starter opposite Bosa. I think that's the and to me, Kalijah Cansey is maybe the biggest sleeper in the draft. I think he's just spectacular. I don't know if he's Aaron Donald. People comparing him to Aaron Donald, but he's 280 pounds. He can play inside, outside. You add Cansey to Armstead, Hargrave, and Bosa. That becomes the best front line in pro football.
Yeah. I mean, I think you got to go in this draft. Get guys that are ready to play, that can contribute in year one to get a. Like if you can get an impact player like a Mayer or a Foskey, get guys
a difference maker, because that would change the dynamic. The other thing reason I'm saying that it's going to happen, there's a lot of people saying, hey, they're not going to trade him before the draft or in this draft. They'll wait till afterwards, because if you wait till afterwards, then you're trading Trey Lance for deferred gratification, and he's going to go play this year, and you potentially could look really bad if he plays decently, and all you have coming is a third-round pick in next year's draft. Where if you trade him for a pick that you immediately turn into Michael Mayer, Isaiah Foskey, Kalijah Cansey, now it's like, hey, don't worry about Trey over there. We're trying to win the Super Bowl over here, and we just added, I think Michael Mayer's a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. They call him Baby Gronk.
Why the hell is he not the first tight end? I'm looking at mocks right now.
He is probably the first tight end, but he didn't have a great pro day workout. He just ran okay. He didn't lift great.
I don't, the lifting thing, when they do the lifting thing and they do some of the things that they do at the combine, just look at the film on the field.
Seriously, watch the games.
I hate that.
It's a football game.
I hate that when, well, he's got an unbelievable triple jump or an unbelievable, 40 time. Well, yeah, the game's not played in 40-yard sprints for most people. How many times do you see a tight end going down 40, on a 40?
That's why they use a lot of times they use the 10-yard split as the real indicator, or the 3-cone. They're looking for short area quickness. I mean, that's what football is. Short area quickness. Ron Holder says, hey, Larry, do you think with this being a tight end heavy draft, the Niners trade Kittle and draft his replacement and a number 2 tight end and have both your number 1 and number 2 tight ends on rookie deals? I don't. I think they'll keep Kittle. I think they'll add a tight end for sure.
I'm looking at Daniel Jeremiah's. He has Bijan Robinson going 3.
What? Really?
Daniel Jeremiah's. Wait.
No, can't be.
Oh, it's just his top 50 prospects.
So he's listing him as the third best player in the draft?
I mean, I guess
that's possible
for his position. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be awesome. But yeah,
who's that again?
Bijan, Texas running back. Texas has 2 great running backs. Bijan,
I don't draft a running back.
Roshan.
I don't pick a running back at the top of the draft.
Wait, Anthony Richardson is now okay. He does have Anthony Richardson mocked to 4.
Anthony Richardson may go in the top 5. He may.
I think Richardson is super exciting. To me, of all the guys, all these quarterbacks, he's the guy that to me is the most exciting, because you're talking about 6'4", 245, 4.4 speed. I've watched him at Florida. You get that guy in the red zone, and it's just like, good luck. He can throw it, he can pass it, he can run it. He's just guy's amazing. I mean, the guy's an absolutely amazing athlete.
He'd be the number one pick.
Yeah.
He stayed one more year. One more year.
I don't know. I've seen so many guys be drafted on their
potential.
On their potential based on what they did on Saturday afternoon, guys that are like, oh, he's moving up the boards. His combine was amazing. And then they're just like, what? They're complete bust. So
Ace says, Larry, Martin Mayhew wasn't part of the brain trust when they drafted Trey. He was hired by Washington in January of 2021. Yeah, but most of the scouting work that gets done on the players, wasn't Trey in the 2021 draft? It was he left in the 2021 draft, right? Trey was in the 2021 draft. So if he left in January of 2021, he scouted that entire football season with the 49ers. So, yeah, he absolutely was involved in the 49ers brain trust. Maybe not on draft day itself, but he was there. He spent more time that year scouting for the Niners than he did scouting for Washington.
I love Eric's question. Are you doing a live stream during the draft, Larry? Is the sky blue? Is the Pope Catholic?
Well, we're not going to do one continuously the entire draft because that's. Yeah, but we will do stuff.
Round. You'll be.
We'll do. Yeah, we'll do stuff the first round. And you guys are both invited to hang. I'm just going to do kind of like an open house and maybe invite a few people.
Chips or anything?
Yeah, like chips and dip. I'm thinking maybe my wife makes some wonderful lumpia. She makes this incredible lumpia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does too. That's great. Yeah.
She got it off a recipe in Mesa. She saw it. We went to this over 55 and over community, and it was popping there. They were pounding these lumpias to death. I even got a video on it on YouTube. But there was these guys sitting at a table. Eating a lot of lumpia.
Who's Dalton Kincaid?
He's the Utah tight end who played for Cam Rising. The quarterback was Cam Rising. Kincaid's the super awesome receiver from Utah.
Just think if he could do
that's why they have him mocked at 16. So
he's good
because
he's like a hybrid. Everybody's going. Everything that's happening. Wouldn't that be something if you could do virtual like? Chips and dip on a live stream and sharing.
Actually,
have a bite, Larry.
Well, like Grubhub thing where they all deliver at the same time.
Eric says, Larry, can you confirm if the Giants are elated? What was the elation sensation again? They were elated for what?
They were elated.
With Judge or
was it
elated
Korea?
With our options or
our
chances of getting Judge, wasn't it?
No. I think they were elated about Correa.
I thought it was getting
somebody will remember.
I gotta look it up.
What were the Giants fucking elated about? Because
Martinez, Filipino wife for Larry too. Wow.
Yeah.
We're
nice. Yes, we're big on lumpia here at in Walnut Creek. Eric. Yes, we'll be doing a live stream during the draft at some point. We'll be talking a lot of draft. We got this one. MF Larry, is Matthew Barrows coming on? Matthew Barrows, very formal, and he says that dude is going to be fire. Is he talking about Matt Barrows? No, he can't be talking about Matt Barrows.
Will Martinez says, Dan, as a former season ticket holder, do you miss going to night games like tonight? Very candlestick-esque crowd. Do I miss it? Let me think. No.
Think it over, Dan. You didn't give it enough thought.
Yeah, no, I don't miss going out there with, watching, sure, would I love to be there for the walk-off homer, but it's the other 8 2/3.
Oh, here it is. Elated. Romo says they were elated about their meeting with Judge.
I thought it had something to do with Judge.
We had a meeting with Judge. We were elated. And we all judged that.
Was Judge Sable trolling with this one?
What's that?
Why Blake Sable was a quote unquote elated Giants traded for him in a rule draft.
Oh, that is awesome. Glass half full guy. Hey, Larry, do you ultimately think the 49ers trade up from the third round? I'm hoping so. Otherwise, not as interesting to me. I was sitting there in Santa Clara 2 days ago. John Lynch spoke, and he said, you know what? I think the theme of this draft is its depth. So to me, that spoke to me like, we're not trading up. We're going to take 3 guys there in the third round. So that's kind of my read on it.
Depth. When I hear this draft is all about depth, what I hear is that they don't really love the top.
Yeah, or like maybe the top is like 12 deep instead of like I'd heard something. I don't know if it was where did I hear? Yeah, I think I heard that the Niners had like 15 guys graded as first round picks. Okay, but there's 30 picks in the round,
Right.
so that means half. That means almost all of the back of the first round are guys that you really don't have first round grades on. So, you know.
Yeah, I would think if Mayer falls to late in the first round and is
Even Daniel Jeremiah has him mocked, unfortunately, to the
Where?
Niners pick, but it's been
What
traded.
Which
28.
number?
28.
Yeah, I mean 28.
Yeah.
That's intriguing. I mean, seriously, if you could trade Trey Lance and a pick and get into the late first, and you could get Michael Mayer, man, you get Michael Mayer, who's one of the safest players in this draft. I've watched him so many games.
He's huge.
He's 6'4", he's 250, 260, great
He's
receiver, good blocker. I mean, this guy's just a blue chipper. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He's one of the best tight ends I've seen come out of college in the last decade, and he's done nothing but produce at Notre Dame. You put him in a 2 tight end set with George Kittle, and you have Brock Purdy, who's basically makes throwing to the tight end look like a just absolute the easiest thing of all time. I mean, Charlie Kohler dominated at Iowa State with Brock Purdy, and he was just an ordinary tight end. George Kittle went to a totally different level last year with Brock Purdy. You put Mayer and Kittle in a 2 tight end set with Purdy, I think the 49ers are the team to beat in the NFC. I really believe that, especially with the remade defensive line. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for. I mean, that's what I'm hoping we see. I don't know if it will happen. Glass half full guy says, I'll be elated when Farhan and Kapler are gone. There you go.
Hey, when does the schedule
again?
come?
I'm
When does
seeing-
the NFL schedule actually come out as far as the
May.
national TV games?
It all comes out in May.
So it's coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The schedule release is right after the draft.
So
MF says,
today's
Larry,
the trade with the Rodgers to the Jets, they're saying they may get now 6 national TV games as opposed to what they only got last year was 1.
Well, they should. I mean, they're a lot more
yeah.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
With Rodgers. The only thing I don't like I don't know how you guys feel about that deal. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I don't like it from the standpoint of you're trading draft choices, which is your future, for a 40-year-old quarterback. It's only a good deal if they get to or win a Super Bowl, and they're not getting anywhere close. So
Well, you got to overcome the Bills, the Bengals, and the Chiefs.
right. But I mean, if you don't go to a Super Bowl, I mean, if you don't win it, that's one thing. But if you don't even go and you traded multiple picks for a 40-year-old quarterback and that quarterback can't get you to a Super Bowl, I think that's an L. I think that's the big L right there.
Who do you think is
Plus,
better-
they're paying him $59 million.
who do you
There's
think
that
has
too.
a chance of getting to the AFC Championship game, the Bills or the Jets?
Who's what?
Who has a better chance of making it to an AFC Championship game? The Bills or the-
Definitely Buffalo.
I don't know because
Really?
Jets defense is pretty good. Jets defense is I mean Buffalo should be better because they've got the
Buffalo early last year I thought looked awesome. And then
Yeah.
the Hamlin thing, and their secondary got the injury to Poyer and the injury to Milano, and when they lost 3 or 4 guys in their secondary and in their back 7, and all of a sudden at the end of the year it was like, wait a second, Buffalo's receivers look like shit outside of Diggs, and their defense, which looked awesome at the beginning of the year, looked like a shadow of its former self. But the season was rough on the Bills because by the team that we saw in the playoffs didn't look anything like that juggernaut that we saw
early
in
on.
late September.
I thought Josh Allen kind of regressed at the second half.
I agree. He did not look comfortable. I don't know. Is it because he wasn't in good rhythm with those receivers? I don't know, but they lost their secondary. I mean, they were just a team that couldn't lose guys to injuries and then did. And then their defense wasn't quite the same. And then the Hamlin thing at the very end was a very bizarre situation.
Bizarre.
So I don't,
Larry,
MF's.
too soon, Larry. Too soon.
Larry, I heard Matt Barrow say the Niners think Colton McKivitz is an upgrade to Mike McGlinchey pass blocking. I saw that as well.
Pass
And
blocking.
that was one of our favorite guys last year, right? Is
Yeah, the
McKivitz.
guy's going to take down a bear at the goal line.
McKivitz. You got to understand, McKivitz
A
is
real live grizzly.
he's like a backwoods guy, right? His dad makes those Daniel Boone, those raccoon hats out of live raccoons. The last day of the season, we were down there. I'm crossing the street, and I had asked him about. I go, hey, what do you got going on this week? He's like, I'm going duck hunting in Sacramento, and I'm like, oh, so then I'm getting ready to cross the street to go to the parking garage, and McKivitz is coming out of the Niner lot. He's taking a right at the light there by the stadium, and he gets to the stoplight and he sees me standing there in the corner. And he puts out his finger like, hey, wait a second. And he reaches into some place in his car, and he comes back, and he's like, got the duck quack. He's like, quack, 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 quack. I guess that guy, the hunters use that. He's a hunter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody
He's a good
asked,
dude, though. He's a good dude.
Who asked that? Eric asked, who do you think the best quarterback is? Where is that? In the NFC right now.
In the NFC.
Where is it? Anyway, it said WB, but I know he meant quarterback. As you look at that,
Who asked the question here?
Eric's.
Here it is.
Yeah.
He says, who's the best quarterback
Comment.
in the NFC right now?
I gotta say, in my opinion, looking at it, I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. There's really, look at the quarterbacks. There's
Stafford.
and I'm going to put Purdy up there in the top 3.
Well, wait. Who else?
In the NFC? Who's in the NFC?
I mean, you had Justin Fields on your fantasy team.
Yeah, but he can't. He's not an accurate thrower. He can run. He's great for fantasy.
How about PJ Walker?
I mean, the NFC is really hurting.
Sam Darnold. Who? Saints got who? Carr?
Yeah, I'm uninspired.
I mean, Danny Dimes. There's Dak. Probably Hurts.
That's what I go
Probably
with
Hurts.
Probably
Yeah,
Hurts.
I'd probably go Hurts.
Yeah, but don't you have Purdy if he's healthy in the top 3?
Yeah,
I mean,
I would.
Oh,
I would have him in the top 3. Hurts, Stafford. You got to go Stafford. I mean, Stafford's won a Super Bowl. He's still kicking.
how about what's his name? Geno Smith.
no.
Yeah, he had a good year, but no. I mean,
I know, but look at the
what about
quarterback.
Goff? What about Jared Goff?
Goff's up probably in the top. He's definitely top 4 or 5 in the
What about
NFC.
Prescott?
I mean, you got Cousins.
I mean, it's funny because Jimmy G. I think at some point we may have had. I think I was saying like, oh, Jimmy G's a top 5 quarterback in the NFC last year, and it's like he's in the AFC and he's like, whatever, 14.
I mean,
Where do you put Kyler? Where do you put Kyler in that mix?
About 7th.
qualified.
I really like. I mean, Kyler completed. Was it 2 years ago? He completed like 75% of his passes. I mean, he was playing well, and then that contract comes out that with the stipulations about him working hard or whatever, and it's like I just feel like Arizona with that singular contract negotiation kind of ruined their entire team.
Who the hell's their coach even now?
They got rid of Kingsbury, right? And they hired Gannon, the Eagles defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Mo G says, what round do you think the 49ers will draft a quarterback? If they don't trade Trey Lance, I don't see them drafting a quarterback. Because think about it this way. You got 3 quarterbacks on your roster. You're not going to have 4. Even if you used 4 this year, you're not going to put 4 on your roster.
They'll just sign one in the free agency after the draft.
But I mean, the whole point is this. You have 3 quarterbacks that can make your roster. The 4th guy is going to get put through waivers. So you're not going to draft DTR or, any rookie quarterback and not trade Lance and then just cut that rookie quarterback in camp. It's not going to happen. They're either going to they either will trade Trey and draft a rookie, and in that case, I'd say any round, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, or they won't trade Trey, and in that scenario, they will not draft a quarterback.
Let me ask you this: if DTR is on the board and they're looking to trade Trey and Hendon Hooker are on the board at the same time, who would you take?
Between Hendon Hooker and DTR?
Yeah.
Oh, Hooker.
Well, Hooker's
Hooker's
more
got an
highly
arm.
rated by people, but here's the thing. I did a deep dive on Hooker a few weeks ago, and
Did a
the
Hooker
difference
deep dive?
between Hooker, I did a
What?
deep dive on a Hooker the other. I did a deep dive on a Hooker the other night, and it went well.
Let's just
It
say
went
her
well.
was, very fresh.
It was very deep dive. No, I was misquoted. No,
I was talking about Hendon.
I was talking to Dan Coach Emilio. Damn it.
1:30 in the morning. I'll text you with some fantasy trades tonight. See if wake
Yeah.
up your wife.
Yeah, my
Who's
wife.
texting.
My wife's like, who is texting at 1:30 in the morning? I don't know if I told Rye last year. And I'd be like, it's Dan. She's like, it is not. Let me see your phone. I'm like, it's Dan. And she's like, let me see. And then I'm like, and she's like, he's offering you 2 wide receivers and a running back? What's that about? I'm like, yeah, it's Dan. It's 1:30 in the morning, and he's kind of into the fantasy now. He's making lots of trades. And at that point, I was like, it was so late in the year that I'm like, honey, hold on a second. And I showed her the page up front on Yahoo, which shows every team's number of trades. I'm like, look at every team in the league. Look how many trades. Look at Dan's trades. She's like, oh, Dan makes a lot of moves.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, he does. Dan makes a lot of fucking moves.
Wait till this year. Wait till this year. Now that I know how to run how to get set up for the draft.
I was going to say that watching Hooker, he doesn't make a lot of plays outside the numbers. His ball kind of hangs outside the numbers. I think he might be a product of a quarterback-friendly system and 2 really good receivers, Hyatt and the other guy. Those guys are.
Hyatt was something else.
Both those receivers he had were really good. I kind of like DTR. I mean, the thing about DTR, he's lean, but he's 6'2", and he moves really well. He throws well on the run. He's kind of a rhythm guy, but he was in great rhythm a lot of this year. It's a little bit of a transition between the system he played into like what the Niners run. But I definitely like DTR. The quarterback I think they should get is Clayton Tune or Duggan. One of those 2 guys. I mean, Hayner is not bad too. Hayner wouldn't be bad, but to me, I like Clayton Tune. I like Max Duggan. I mean, TCU wasn't supposed to be any good. Duggan wasn't even the starter at the beginning of the year.
You think
The other guy goes down with a knee injury in the first game. He came off the bench, beat Colorado, led him to a 12-1 record. They almost won the national championship. He almost wins the Heisman. I mean, in a lot of ways, I think Duggan throws a nice touch ball. He doesn't have great arm strength, but he's got 4.5 speed. He's won a lot of games. I mean, you could do worse as a third quarterback than Max Duggan for sure.
That ginger flow would really pop in the red unis.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, yeah. And Jeff Garcia had red hair too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Ginger.
What about the massive UCLA running back? Was Charbonnet or whatever? Where's he going?
Theodis Brown?
He's probably in the 3rd round, maybe 4th round. Zach Charbonnet. He's terrific. Zach Charbonnet is, he's 230. He's not a speedster, but man, he is a downhill physical runner. You're talking about a guy who's just freaking got a lot of upper body power and strength. I mean, he's tough, man.
Hey,
Like, he's like what they hoped that Trey Sermon or Ty Davis Price could be potentially.
I mean, the Niners have J.P. Mason. I mean, Ryan, we both can't wait to see what that guy does.
I want to see that guy move.
Kyle's going to take a running back in like the 3rd round, and we're all going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Don't take one.
I know.
In the 3rd. Wait till the 6th.
He's just
Don't take one in the 3rd. Every
Dusty.
3rd round pick is.
I know. The
running
Niners
back
have
is
better
awesome.
luck with the undrafted guys in the 3rd round.
so that in the 6th round you can draft another one, and then that guy's going to be a stud.
Yeah, the sixth rounder guy comes in and starts. 3rd guy gets cut. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened last year, but I'll tell you that there are some. I know it's easy to just look at the Niners. They got McCaffrey and they got Mitchell and they've got Mason and TDP and they got Juszczyk and just go they don't need
Who was the third round pick they took last year, running back?
Sermon.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
No, that was
last
the
year
before.
Ty Davis Price.
They all blame
yeah.
each other. Joe
So
Williams.
they've had Sermon.
But I mean,
they've had
even though you
Price,
got
and then
those
they had
guys-
the kid from Colorado, Will Williams, was it, or
Joe Williams.
who?
Oh wait, no.
Not
Colorado.
No,
Utah.
first year, Joe Williams. Where was it? Utah.
Oh, that was
Utah.
years ago. That was
Yeah, but
Utah. That was years.
yeah.
That was Kyle's first year.
I know, but that was.
He's
another
been
third
gone a
round
while.
bust.
He's been gone.
That was
Yeah,
another
he was
bust,
a
though. I mean,
terrible
he was-
bust.
yeah.
But I mean, like, if you're looking at, there's some really good running backs. Tyjae Spears from Tulane rumbled all over USC late in the year. He was great. Roshan Johnson from Texas is a leader. He's a tough guy. He's a blocker. I mean, he's awesome. Izzy Abanaconda from Pittsburgh is really good. Dwayne McBride from UAB, tremendous back.
I had him in my fantasy or my mock
Keaton
draft.
Mitchell
I
from
took
East
him
Carolina, home run hitter.
I took the kid.
There's just a lot of interesting guys here for sure in the draft, running back wise. So
I got a question for you guys. I heard this today on the national media, and they were debating about LeBron James and Jordan. Would Jordan be the hero he was if he played in today's instant social media? They were talking about him being 4 a.m. out gambling, and didn't hit the.
you
papers.
mean because people would show him at the casino in the middle of the night? And
Yeah, exactly. On the night before a game, and then the newspaper, it would be like, oh well, they got the story at 5, 6 in the morning. Well, it won't hit the story till the next day. And Jordan went out and scored 45. So it's like, who cares what he was doing? But
well, how about did you guys see the documentary on the Dream Team?
Oh yeah.
When they went to Barcelona, bro played 72 holes of golf and then would go light up Cameroon.
yeah,
I mean, it was 72 holes. I mean, he's playing golf all day, and then
but
just
he did a lot of. I mean, they were saying, it was Gilbert Arenas that brought it up. Gilbert Arenas was saying that
hibachi.
Jordan would not be held in the same light if he played today with today's social media, which makes to me
like today's evolved psychology. Like growing up, like I felt like every NBA player felt so much pressure to be like Jordan, just that killer and all that, kind of be just emotionless killer. And it's like, in reality, it's kind of like how a lot of CEOs are like, have the same psychological profile of like a serial killer. Like the guy is basically like, he's an actual psychopath. And like, I don't like, it's like a guy like Steph Curry. That's who you should be looking up to. Not necessarily like Mike Jordan. It's great. It's awesome. It's super sick. Like, I still think he's the GOAT, but I mean, the man was a psycho, like an actual psycho.
His retirement thing was like a roast.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just, Michael has that dysfunctional competitive gene. And it's like you didn't realize it until the Hall of Fame speech. You're like, oh, my God, this guy doesn't even have another. It's kind of sad, actually, at that point. But I just think that, I don't know. To me, there's an awful lot of people out here who want to believe that what they're watching in the present is the best. And it's just really hard to acknowledge that you didn't see the best and that somebody else was the best. And I've felt that my whole life with Willie Mays, right? I was born in 1970. I didn't start watching Giants baseball till 75. I don't remember anything really concretely until like the Big Red Machine, late 70s. That's like my first memories of baseball. And it bothered me as a kid that I'm watch all these players and my dad would be like, yeah, Willie Mays was better than all these guys. And they kind of like, well, wait a second. What about Steve Garvey, Dad? What about Dave Winfield? What about Parker? I think Dave Parker's pretty good, Dad. Oh, come on. No, kid, no. Willie was Willie. He was on a different level.
Yeah, Willie was.
And so, so I do understand that because I was like, hey, what about the guys I think are great now? And And I would always ask, hey, what about this guy? What about Eric Davis? What about Darryl Strawberry? What about Bo Jackson? Oh, no, but Mays was better than all these guys. And as you grow up, you realize that there was substance and style with Willie Mays.
We should do a
and
top
that's the thing with Jordan. He was substance and style.
We should do a top 100 athletes, take all sports, whether it be, football, basketball, baseball, and maybe even NHL, throw a couple guys in there and just rank them.
Like Olympics and like even like tennis though, because I just don't understand it. And like, I don't.
But if you put a top guys, just 1 through 100, it would be very interesting to see the names that would come up. The NBA's got their top 75, but I mean, a lot of those guys wouldn't make it if you started throwing football and baseball players. Like I would have Jerry Rice in the top 5 of 100, whatever, just off the top of my head. I'm not.
Are you talking about just all different sports, all mixed up together?
Sports, yeah. Just
I mean, if we're talking about, are we talking about accomplishments within the game, or are we talking about just athleticism?
Accomplishments. It's got to be Yeah, if you took athleticism,
I mean, like Bo
Kuminga would be up there, and
Bo
athleticism.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, he's freak, total freak.
Dion, these guys.
But I mean, you can put a combination, and you can actually put not just but what they did based on how many years. Like Gale Sears is up there, in the top one, maybe.
The problem is you'd have to establish a criteria beforehand, or else it'd get super messy.
Yeah.
And it's just different eras, and it's also comes down to the impact that these players made on the fans. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Everybody's impact's a little different, and there's different reasons for it. Some guys play a lot in October or a lot in the playoffs. That's where you make your name. There's a lot of people that feel that Derek Jeter's like supremely overrated because, he's part of his lore is that he played on all those great Yankee teams. Would he have been as great with the Royals? And I've always kind of. You always got to factor those things in. I mean, Whitey Ford. People talk about Whitey Ford. Well, it's because he won all those World Series games with the Yankees in the 50s and 60s. And I think that's – so it's like a lot of times the postseason. I kind of feel like Mike Trout is a guy that's not going to be thought of at the same level as he actually is because he doesn't have that. He's like the opposite of that. Right. Glass Half Full guy says the more important question is, does Larry's wife think the 49ers should trade Trey? LOL, love your draft coverage, my dude. Me and my wife have gotten along really well through the years, and it's partially because she doesn't know shit about sports and doesn't care. And it makes for a beautiful thing. She doesn't care. We don't talk sports together. She's not asking me, what'd you think of the Giants game? I get that all out here with Dan and Rye, and then I go in the house, and it's amazing. She's more worried about what we're having for dinner tomorrow night, or who's picking up the kids at the baseball game. You know what I mean? And it's funny too. When I was getting married, a lot of people were like, "So you're super into sports?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, so your wife must be super into sports, and I'd be like, no." Like, no, really? Like, almost like, oh, that's a bad omen for this marriage, And I remember thinking at the time, oh man, maybe I'm missing the boat here. Maybe I should have some sports fan wife. But you know what? I've got buddies, and sometimes like their buddies in certain years, like their wife is in the fantasy league, and it's just cringe. It's like, hey, somebody just proposed a trade. Oh, dude, that was Bob's wife. Oh, it's like I don't want to trade with her just out of principle.
Sports is just to do with your obviously everyone can love sports, but it's like it's a place where you can get together with your buddies and be a little vulnerable just because you're all in show emotion because you're all just rooting for sports, and that doesn't make you not manly.
Did you guys see the on Twitter the Game 4
Curry
watch party of the Kings at Golden One Center? The fight.
Oh, I heard it. No, what happened?
Oh, it's amazing. I don't know if you could probably play it if I sent it to you.
So what is it? It's just a fight among
just a fight in the stands.
All between Kings fans or Kings and Warriors fans?
A little of both. It's just
no.
You know what's a hack, Dan? Is I realized I won't do it on your stream layer, but I realized that if you play the video on a green screen and you're in it, then there's no copyright. It's kind of a hack.
Really?
Yeah.
So how you can't put this in the chat, can you, Rye? If I put it on, send it to you.
No. I could play it on my green screen though. You know.
Well, what is it, Danny? Can you describe it? Or Mark
Well-
Hope says, Larry, make a Lance plus 3 threes to move up for Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter from Georgia? I mean, he's a great talent, but there's a bunch of
Okay.
people that don't want to
Here
deal
it
with
is.
him.
Here it is.
Let's see.
Wait, let's do it this way.
I see a Warrior fan.
Wearing the Curry.
Dude, that is awesome.
Oh, geez.
Curry's
Big old
just
brawl.
laying people out.
Oh, guys throwing blows.
12. Is that like Dwight Howard?
Jesus, can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That guy into the left, he's just like,
Oh, look at the haymakers that the Curry's throwing on dudes.
Oh, my gosh.
damn, world star, son.
Oh,
Oh,
guys getting thrown over chairs.
oh man, can't lose the higher ground.
You know, the thing about these things, it's like you got passionate fans and there's no game. So the only thing they can focus on is the screen and then each other. And then all of a sudden you look around and be like, oh, who's got a jersey on I don't like? Oh, and now all of a sudden I've had a couple drinks. Look at
There they go
that.
flying. Look at that guy went flying. Man, it's just
Life's too short, man.
it was just like
Life's too short. Oh,
pounding
by the way,
on
look at this one. Senior softball games. Jerry Rice was slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Omar Samhan. Is that what it is? Oh, no. Oilers San Fran. I said Omar Samhan.
Love me some Omar. That guy-
Oilers, San Fran Giants, baby.
Okay, wait. I got one for you guys. This is like classic ESPN clickbait bullshit, but let's get a little legacy talk going. I mean, if the Warriors actually just win this title, like I don't want to get ahead of it, but like even making it to the finals would be a huge accomplishment. But if they win this title, like I think that you could say Curry had a better career than LeBron.
Oh, nobody's going to go there with you on that. I'm with you because I think skill really,
5
Curry.
chips, same team, 2 with Andrew Wiggins as his number 2.
Yeah, I mean Curry, but we're such a power-oriented society. Do you really ever think that Curry could do anything to really eclipse LeBron?
Well, not at the Entertainment Sports Broadcasting Network, but
No, for sure. Not there, but here, definitely. But what do you guys think if that is the matchup? I mean, the Lakers are going to move on. I think the Warriors do too. Playoffs are about matchups. Warriors don't match up with this new Laker team as well.
I know I don't like it.
The Lakers have a lot of length and athleticism now.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you can hope maybe Davis goes down or something and isn't available. I mean,
I'm amazed that I
multiple
said to Ramona Shelburne on the radio a few weeks ago that I thought that Pelinka deserved the Executive of the Year, and I thought she was going to kind of agree with me. She's like, no, it should be Monty McNair. But you know what? I understand that McNair made some good moves. Don't get me wrong. But the Lakers were done. They had nobody. And they've added since opening night Mo Bamba, Malik Beasley, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, right? Did they have him opening night? And they may have. D'Lo,
On come out and say
Jared Vanderbilt,
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson. I mean, my goodness, they've added 6 new faces on a 12 to 15 man roster. And what do they give up? I mean, I think Pelinka. This is one of the great GM jobs I've ever seen.
Yeah, they were
I don't
dead. And remember when you said if you had $1 million, who would you bet on? And I took the Lakers because I said, well, if your money, I'll go with the best. Give me the best odds. I think the Lakers are playing like a. I mean, I think LeBron knows this is his last kind of real shot because who knows?
They did
what
win in the
team
bubble.
looks like,
With a different
what
team,
the
of
looks
course.
like next year. But I love the idea of Curry and LeBron matching up again. I just think that is just would be just epic.
We're pissing off the Kings fans right now. Mr. NorCal. Kings haven't played good yet and still have 2 wins. Don't sleep. And we got this one here. Eric, keep sleeping. This series is far from over.
Could still go 7, but the Warriors are gonna win.
I'll tell you my takeaways from this series. I think Sabonis
has poop.
I think Sabonis is passing up open 5 and 6 foot shots to pound a dribble, bang a shoulder, draw a foul, or make a bunny or make a little 2-footer off the backboard. I've never seen a guy who looks less confident from 8 feet than that guy. It's amazing that he averaged the points that he averaged this year, considering what he looks like offensively. He doesn't want to shoot an open 10-footer. He doesn't.
He's like shooting like 9% outside the key.
It's amazing. He doesn't want to shoot at all. The other thing is the guy's in the key like 6-7 seconds at a time. I mean, it's not even funny. And how many offensive fouls? This guy wards off. He pushes off. He's jamming that shoulder. How about when him and Klay Thompson went banging bodies on the low block? I haven't seen that kind of contact on the low block. Guys, seriously, since fucking Anthony Mason was in the league, I have not seen the kind of physicality that Sabonis is delivering to post defenders in this series with no calls since the 80s.
How about when Curry, like they ended up reversing it, right? Because he was in the restricted or whatever. But like, how about when Curry just went up for a layup in that game, or he's getting no free throws. He went up for a layup and like Sabonis got there a little late, and then he just fell like he got shot by a sniper, and then the announcers were like, what a warrior move, or like it was some like a tough guy move by Sabonis. Oh, he's just getting beat up, and it's like the dude is like 7 feet tall and
he travels a lot too down there.
Hit by a little Steph Curry on a layup. Like, can we save it?
He travels a lot with it when he.
Oh, his footwork is shitty. He's got terrible footwork. He's all over the place. He's walking constantly.
Yeah.
Senior softball games, cry harder, Larry. I ain't crying at all. I'm just telling you the truth. Sabonis has been, to me, very disappointing. Murray no-showed the first 2 games. The guy that's really special for them is Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell is a force, man. He's a defender. He gets up on your body. He's kind of like a 5'11" version of Draymond Green.
Yeah,
the guy's just really tough.
He's a little bit like Beverly as far as guarding guys, but he's not a jerk.
Drew a little bit.
He's not a jerk like Beverly and Dylan Brooks. I mean, I can't stand. I've always hated the Lakers, but I hate the Grizzlies more. I mean, Dylan Brooks. I mean, does he go down as the clown of the year? I mean,
how could talking trash to everybody? It's like, dude, you're nobody. You're Dylan Brooks. You're talking trash to LeBron.
Yeah,
just put a sock in it, buddy.
Literally puts 40 on me. Yeah, how about 20 and 20? Just like and
by the way, Suns win tonight, 136-130 over the Clips. 47 for Booker.
Booker something.
47. How about Jokic's triple-double tonight? 28, 17, and 12. Denver. To me, guys, Denver's going to the finals.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I think the Warriors will beat the Kings, beat the Lakers, lose to Denver.
I mean Denver, Phoenix. I mean, that's like a rough. Yeah, there you go. Here's your prize for the 1 seed. You play KD and the Suns in round 2, while the Warriors.
I know. What do you think of that series? What do you think? What's your prediction on that series?
I don't know. My heart tells me I just think it would be the coolest thing ever because the Warriors
go 7.
The Warriors have not lost a play. If you don't count the play-in game, or if you just want to couch it with Steph and Clay, they haven't lost a playoff series in the Western Conference since 2013. If they made it back to the finals and they went through LeBron and KD to get there, that would be so sick.
That would be, yeah. Hey,
Hawks beat the Celtics tonight by 2, by the way. That's a 3-2 series.
I got to run here, guys. Are you going to be doing the post-game, I guess, tomorrow night?
So tomorrow night, guys, I mean, if you either of you guys can make it, we got Warriors post-game. We got Giants post-game. Warriors winning it all. Brandon Davenport. let's call it
Giants
right
and
here.
Warriors post game in the same sentence doesn't go, Larry.
Good to see you guys. I'll let you guys go. I'm just going to play a few spots here, but Danny, see you tomorrow night maybe. Rye, good to see you, brother.
See you tomorrow.
Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk a little Warriors Kings tomorrow night. All right, that was fun, man. That was fun. I got some super chats. I got some 18 starred chats I'm going to read coming up next. But first, a word from our sponsors. Thanks to our sponsors. The title sponsor of the show is Pig in a Pickle. Check them out. Corte Madera. They're in Emeryville. 7 days a week. They're open in Marin County from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The best barbecue in Northern California. Pig in a Pickle.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
All right, coming down the home stretch on the Krug Show. Good to see Danny and Ryan tonight. Good to have the whole crew back together once again. Carlo P says, love seeing the old crew and the old names in the chat. There you go. There you go. It's a fun night tonight for sure, and we'll do a lot more of that throughout the summer. We're going to do a lot of post-game on the Giants this year. I hope they keep it interesting, I should say. MF says, Brandon Crawford looks run down. He's playing every day, man. He's 36 years old. Mark Hope says, dear chat, no matter what happens, keep moving forward, never quit. There you go. Mark Hope with all the hearts. Dusty Gold says, no old film on Larry's brawls. No old film there. Eric L., don't give this young Kings team hope. They almost won Game 4, and they think they would have... And I think they would have confidence in Game 6. We'll see. Mo G, it's crazy this series is tied 2-2. Grizzlies couldn't beat up the Lakers a bit. Make the fakers work. I like that, fakers. All right, let's go to the starred chats. Let's see. What do we got here? We got a few of these we've already used. Well, we got Mark Hope, who says, love you, Rye. Always, bro. Let's go. PK, what's your guys' favorite baseball movie? I'm going to go Sandlot. I'm a sucker for Sandlot. I really love Sandlot. I also like The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. It's a true story about Jim Morris. Brian Iglesias, Kuminga is unplayable. He's getting exposed on D. He's too erratic on O. There's a reason he only played 3 to 4 minutes in games 3 and 4. It's frustrating. You got a guy that athletic. You can't just say to him, rebound and defend your ass off. How do you play the minutes that he plays and get no rebounds when you're the most athletic guy on the entire floor on either team? I need him to rebound. He's got to rebound. Dusty Gold, Larry, do you think Larry Fisher will be gone before day 3? I think you mean Joey Fisher from Shepherd. Here it is. Dusty Gold, Larry, do you think Joey Fisher will be around after day 2? Yeah, I do. And I like him a lot. Brawling right tackle from Shepherd. His film is awesome. Go watch his film. It's incredible. Off YouTube. Glass half full guy. How would the Weatherspoon kid from Illinois fit with the Niners? Oh, are you kidding me? You talking about the corner? He's awesome. He's not good. He's not even great. He's awesome. Devin Weatherspoon, I think his name is. Let me look him up here real quick. Yeah, Devin Weatherspoon. I mean, that Illini team, I didn't watch a lot of the Illini, but between Jartavius Martin and Weatherspoon, it's a pretty good little secondary they had going there. 5'11", 181-pound corner out of Illinois. They say he's going 13. I think he's going higher than that. I think the Raiders may go with Witherspoon, not Weatherspoon, Witherspoon. Really good corner draft at the top. Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, really good. Witherspoon, good. Joey Porter from Penn State, hell of a player. Deontay Banks from Maryland, terrific player. Cam Smith, South Carolina. Emmanuel Forbes, Julius Brents. A lot of good corners, my goodness. Trice from Purdue, Rush, South Carolina, Riley Moss, Terrell Smith, Jacorian Bennett, Caillou Blue Kelly, Darrell Luter Jr., Rajon Wright, Isaiah Bolden. Lance Boykin from Coastal Carolina, nice player. Tyreek Jones, the slot corner from Boise, team leader. Really like Tyreek Jones. Can stand up before the team and basically just say, guys, follow me. He's the leader of that Boise State secondary. No doubt about it. And there's other guys. Seriously, there's other guys even further down the list. That's Steven Nelson, I believe, from Appalachian State. There's a lot of good corners in this draft. And then there's a lot of good nickel. Clark Phillips, Trevius Hodges Tomlinson, Catrell Clark. I love Catrell Clark. Starling Thomas V out of UAB. Smart kid. Uber athletic. Yeah, there's a lot of good corners. Stephen Jones Jr. from Appalachian State. Really good day 3 corner. Yeah, there's a lot of good corners. That's the one thing with the Niners. If you're a Niner fan, you're thinking about this draft. You know what's awesome is that you need a corner. You may need 2. There's a ton of them. You need a tight end. You may need 2. There's a ton of them. You need an edge rusher. You may need 2. There's a ton of them. Literally the 3 spots where you may draft 6 players out of your 11 picks. Some of the most loaded spots we've seen in the draft in years. Dusty Gold. Mrs. Krueger know this, Larry? Back to the MF. Larry getting frisky with a hooker. Talking about Hendon Hooker. Dusty Gold. Larry's hard on Hooker. You guys are having too much fun with this. Al Felipe. Dan will make a move for Hooker. Mo G. Dan's like Jake from State Farm. Oh, that's a good one. Clarsard. Larry's a Hooker fan. Eric L. You're on with Larry and the Hooker. Oh, you guys made me laugh. You make me laugh. You guys make me laugh. All right, let's read a few more and we'll bolt for the door. Eric L. So tell me, does Dub Nation melt down if the Kings knock them out? Not going to happen. Not going to happen. There'll be no beam. There'll be no lighting of the beam. I think Warriors may get Game 5 and Game 6. Enjoy this next game. Probably the last game of the year there. Lee Hammer sounds like a State Farm commercial. Riddy Musich. Hey, Riddy. Go get that weapon, Michael Mayer, Niners. Damn straight. Randy Daytona. Great name. Larry, get some sleep, you maniac. Peace. Seriously. Very nice. Larry, beauty sleep. Very nice. MF. Larry, why aren't fans going to Giants games? Boring as shit. Yeah. There you go. No, because they have no homegrown players. They have no position players that anybody knows of. Nobody likes Farhan. Gabe's a gigantic turnoff. They went for Judge and missed. They went for Correa and cheaped out. They went then for a bunch of stopgap guys that nobody likes or cares about. Nobody believes in the direction of the present, maybe the future. It's an easy thing to not go to. People are getting their cars broken into in San Francisco. People are taking shits on the sidewalk, and there's all kinds of drug use. London Breed has allowed the city to be dirtier and more crime-infested and drug-infested than any point in the last 3 decades. Tons of people come from the suburbs. They're like, you know what? I'd rather not. I'll just watch it on NBC Sports Bay Area. That's what's going on. The Giants aren't very compelling. The city's dirtier and more dangerous than ever. People are watching the news and they're afraid to come into the city, not because they're really afraid, but they just don't want to get their windows busted. They don't want to get things stolen out of their car. They don't want to step over human feces. They don't want to step over, fentanyl and needles and everything else. I mean, if you think that ain't it, you're wrong. That is it. There's tons of people in the burbs that follow the Giants every night, watch it all the time. They just ain't going into the city to watch a thoroughly mediocre team paying, filet mignon prices for flank steak night after night after night. It ain't going to happen. Now, later in the year, if they're in it, maybe. Later in the year, if the weather warms up, maybe. People will pick their spots. They'll go, but they're going to go less. Kind of makes you not want to ask that question again. G. Martinez, because Kapler sucks MF. Worst manager in years. There you go. Riddy Musich. I like hearing about a ton of corners in the draft this year. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. The Niners need them. Dusty Gold. The bags are showing, Larry. Oh. I know. I probably got to hit the hay. Mark Hope. Larry doesn't sleep. He's too busy dominating the YouTube. Oh, I am having a lot of fun on the YouTube. I will say that. And if I'm on here too much, forgive me. But you know what? I'm a radio guy at my core. So what does that mean? That means we bring it every day, and that means that we go for 3-4 hours a day. So forgive me if I stream for 3 or 4 hours a day. That's what I'm used to. If I was a TV guy, maybe I'd come on for 15 minutes. Check out. Mo says, Larry, you're not lazy. You're not lazy. In Urbanic's voice. Nate Dogg, filet mignon prices for pork chop quality. Exactly. I don't need a chop for those. I mean, the Giants tickets are freaking expensive. That's a big part of it, too. The game's on TV, and the team ain't that good. Simply as simple as that. If the weather warms up, people will go. People like going outside. MF, the Giants farm system is off to a hot start. That's good. I'm glad. I'm really glad. I would say that this year it's more important that the Giants farm system have a big year than the Giants at the major league level. They have to develop their farm system. This rebuild cannot go on for fucking 12 years. I mean, come on. This is year 5 of Farhan. How many years does Farhan think he's getting? 6, 7, 8? I mean, seriously, Farhan, when are you going to have a competitive team? We're waiting. Crab sandwich. Sports phone instinct. There you go. That's me. Mark Hope, love that you bring it every day. Monica says, no apologies necessary. You fire. Oh, I got you. Thank you, Monica. Monica Canamus. Ron Holder. You're not on enough, Larry. Fuck. Come on, Ron. MF. Larry, I've been lazy lately with my early morning workouts. Mark Hope. Nobody kills like you, Larry. Dusty Gold. Larry, you're a football guy. That's what I like. Your take's the best. Okay, I'm a football guy, but I'll say this. I played high school basketball. I coached basketball. I reffed basketball. I feel like I can talk basketball with anybody. I know basketball. It's funny. I used to get in these debates with Fitz all the time. I played basketball in the WCAL. My God. I've reffed it. I've coached it. I've coached a 3-on-3 college team. I think I know a little bit about. I follow basketball on every level. I'm watching international players for the draft. I'm the guy who told everybody when he was at Weber State that Dame Lillard was badass. People were like, who? Who? I'm like, Dame Lillard, Weber State, Big Sky. Go check his ass out. He's good. So I think I know basketball too. And baseball, I'm just a lifelong Giants fan. As far as know it, don't know it. I don't know. I don't know if you would say I know it or don't know it. MF says Pecan should come on. I invited Pecan for the draft coverage Thursday night. How freaking awesome is that going to be if we can get Pecan in the house Thursday or Friday night, chopping it up, talking college football? That is going to be a stream, man. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but we'll see. I can't promise he's going to be here, but I'm efforting for a Pecan Krug reunion Thursday or Friday night. Yes, I am. I love me some Pecan. Senior softball games. Giants attendance will be top third of the league like it always is. What? No, it will not. Their attendance was down 800,000 last year. Get current. Chardal, hey, Larry, can I join the Warrior postgame show tomorrow? Possibly. Can't promise. G. Martinez, I'd pay $5 for a ticket, but parking is $100. Come on. Mark Hope, Boss Larry with an emoji. All right. We got this one from Nate Dogg. Hey, Nate Dogg, what's going on, man? How's Woodland? He says River Cats games are fun and they're cheap. I love nighttime weather in Sacramento. It's so nice. So nice. Sit outside. It's hot. Reminds me of summer around the country, really. Senior softball games. Larry, see them mountains? No, I don't. Mark Hope. Larry, I played pickup hoop at Glen Park Rec. I was good for nobody. I was good for a nobody, LOL. Is that me? Is that what you're saying? Mo, Larry's opinions are better than others. That's greater than, right? That's not less than. Sometimes I confuse my less thans and greater thans. I think greater than means the alligator's mouth is open, right? Less than meant the alligator's mouth is closed. So Larry's opinions are greater than others. There you go. Nate Dogg. Larry was a big 20-10 guy. Marco. Pecan. Oh, yeah. Pecan's awesome. G. Martinez. Krugstradamus called Dame 2. At 5'5", Larry, and you dunked too. I'm not 5'5". Closer to 6'5". I'm not 6'5". I'm 6'2". My brother's 6'5". He got all the height. My dad was 6'3". MF, I miss Fitz and Brooks, Gary and Larry, Tolbert and Ratto at the leader. Well, you don't, come on, man. You don't like the leader going right now? They're only getting beat by 95-7 the game every month. Every month since I've been gone, KMBR has gotten beat by 95-7 the game. Fact. Look it up. Senior softball games. Pecan, where is he now? He's selling steel on the peninsula, and he's very happy. He's a good man. Remix channel. The Giants have the same swing. Far Analytics. Chardal. Hey, Larry, can I stay for the duration of the postgame show? No. We'll see. How about we'll see? Well, I'll throw a we'll see. It's not as harsh as no. G. Martinez, Larry learned the alligator trick, LOL. Yeah, there you go. See? He's learning. Don't say he's not learning. The kid's learning. Senior softball. Right now, the Giants are 13th in the league in attendance. You get current. 13th. 13th. And you're saying they're going to be the top. They're not the top. 13th. Senior softball. They were 12th in the league in attendance last year. 12th. You said top. That's not top. MF. Tolbert is better than anyone at 95.7. That's you got to love MF. He knows his sports radio. DJ Venus. Larry, you the man. All right, that's going to do it for us. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to the sponsors. Thanks to all of you. G. Martinez. I do like Tolbert, even though softball questions. Let's not go at Tommy T. Chardal says, Larry, you the man. With an emoji. All right, guys. Good stuff. Have a great night. Catch me tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. Let me double-check the schedule. Take a look at the schedule. See what I got going tomorrow. You got to stay organized. All right. We got a lot of videos coming out tomorrow on the channel. So look for that in the morning. And then tomorrow night, we got a big doubleheader. 7 o'clock, Warriors-Kings, Game 5 from Fuck the Beam, Golden 1. And then Giants-Cardinals, 6:45. We'll be on in the postgame. Should be a big old party. Should be a hell of a night. So join us. Red, Cy, Baller, maybe JD from 95.7 The Game, maybe Danny, maybe Rye. We'll see. We'll try to mix it up. It'll be almost like an open house. That's tomorrow night. Then Thursday night, NFL Draft. Vish and I are getting together on the NFL Draft night. Should be fun. Also, Damon and I tomorrow going into Warriors-Kings. Check that out. Home and home tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time. Probably 3 to 4 tomorrow. Got to confirm that tomorrow with Damon. But look for me and Damon tomorrow from 3 to 4. And then I'll be on after Warriors-Kings. Can't wait. It's going to be great. And then Thursday night's first round of the draft. Hopefully Pecan stops by. Vish will be by. Friday, we got rounds 2 and 3 of the draft. Could be a huge, huge night for lots of reasons. Also, that's Game 6, Warriors-Kings at Chase. And then Saturday, round 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the NFL draft. I'll be doing videos on every player of the Niners draft. I'll be doing live streams. We'll be doing all kinds of shit. So check that out. And then Sunday, if necessary, Warriors-Kings, light the beam no longer. Bye-bye beam. Warriors are going to, if it gets to Game 7, there'll be no beam. The Warriors will beat the Kings in 7. I hope my brother's watching this. Chris, if you're watching this, we're taking your shit down Sunday. All right. All right. I'm getting a little punchy. Have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow on the Krug Show. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to ask.